budge a door, we're gonna get stuck. So I think we definitely need a strength character of some kind, whether it's primary or secondary. The problem is strength is a shit secondary stat. So you pretty much have to be fighter, paladin, or barbarian to make use of it.
So what'd you guys think of the stats? If we do 2d6 plus 8, then like you said, the minimum is 10, so you won't have any negatives, and
Mhm.
you could get up to a 20. And then I was thinking, just in case you get shit rolls and you don't have anything 17 or above, then you can take your two lowest rolls and change them to a 17 and a 7, which means that you'll definitely have one good one. And since it's the two lowest rolls, it kind of boosts your overall average stats. And then you just have one shitty stat. So if your character is too medium, you can boost it entirely, have one uber stat, but then you have one shitty stat as an
Yeah,
option. Because
I
I
think
think you're
the
get up
roll
17 or higher.
the rolls itself comes out to an average of 15 per stat. So the chances of you getting nothing 17 or higher is really, really low. But as a backup, that's nice. Instead of saying, okay, re-roll all your stats,
Yeah.
I like that option to you're so medium, you can reduce one of your scores because normally 10 is the minimum. You can intentionally reduce one of them and in doing so buff one up to 17. So that gives a potential for someone to have below a 10, but not very likely. I do like that. High averages and stuff. Plus, with that, we could have a character like Toddy in this game. Toddy basically has every stat. Um,
Yeah. That's
we
why
might not even need a strength character if someone has a 15 strength out of the gate.
I want every character to have one super stat, because that way you're really excelling. I don't want any average
Yeah.
characters. But I want you guys to have a chance to have an overpowered character, because the chances of you having one that's really strong is pretty decent. And I don't just want to roll and say whoever wins the roll gets 5 extra points. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I thought. But you think that HP is good to do as normal? You don't think I need to double the con bonus or anything like that?
No, because unless we're like getting like the whole point about having more HP is going to be we can survive more we can survive longer in a combat without healing and more combats in a row. But if we just have a huge pool of HP, then we're going to go into combats and nothing's going to be scary. And then once we start getting low on HP and running out of stuff, then we're going to start being weaker. I don't like that because then it just encourages us to rest constantly and to do things really slowly. Um, if we just have because we're already going to have really buff stats. HP is one of those things that doesn't really need to be tinkered with.
Okay.
I don't mind reduce like if you're going to do rolling, I don't mind doing it where
Yeah.
you can roll and then take the average. I like that because it just feels bad to roll and then get below the average. You're like, wow, I literally could have had more if I just didn't risk it. Um, but like flat improvement, I don't like that. So maximum should be the same. I'm okay with minimum being the average or something similar to that, but
Well, I could
not
say,
actually overall increasing.
what if I just said reroll HP if it's below the average?
Yeah.
Because
How about
I don't really like saying if you get below average, you take the average, because then there's no penalty. I really like
yeah.
when you get really screwed every once in a while, but then you get like
Yeah.
2 levels with 1 HP, and that sucks. But
Well,
if you get
that's
to
the thing is
Like
it's not
my
a
character.
hmm
yeah. It's not a no penalty. It's you have a chance to get something better. You might not get something better, but the worst you can do is what you could have done anyway. So it's not like you go, oh crap, I didn't roll above the average. I guess I'll take the average. No, you got the average, which is the best you could have gotten if in the other case. But re-roll. Are you saying re-roll and then take whatever you rolled?
Yes. So if you
So
get
you have
two
to roll below
ones,
the average twice.
yeah. So if you got two, yeah. So if you got a 2 ones in a row, then you get a 1, but you deserved it, and that's
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
gonna be really rare.
Yeah, that at least that. Oh, plus, if you roll below the average, you have another chance to get above the average.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So instead of just, okay, I'll just take the average, you roll again, and you might get below the average, but you have a better chance to get average or above. And if you get 2 shitty rolls, then that's just what you get.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Um, yeah, and I was reading more. You definitely do have no food or water starting off. So all of your stuff is run out. And
Okay.
actually, from what I read, it said you're on the second day after running out of water. So I need to double check the rules to see how that figures out. But I think
Probably
basically
exhaustion.
you either have exhaustion already or you're right at the border. So basically, you're going to start desperate to find water. So you have an immediate goal, which is find
Yeah.
food and water. Because if you just long rest and you don't have food and water, then you're going to have a problem. So
Yeah.
the
That
first
makes
thing that
sense.
you need to do is figure out how to get resources. And then it matters tracking resources because there's no town to just go back to stock up on everything.
Yeah.
And if you do find a source of, let's say you find a pantry and it's full of food, well, you carry as much as you can. But then if you want more, you have to go back to it and you might get a random encounter on your way back.
Mhm.
Also, the built-in packs, it says like 1 backpack, 2 sacks, like that kind of thing. So I'm gonna look up like the cubic feet of each one and actually
Yeah.
enforce like you have to have room in your pack, not just you have infinite space up to a weight. So
So what sucks is I've considered doing that before because the packs definitely do say cubic feet in space. I wish that items had that listed too
yeah,
because the bookkeeping of that is so tedious because I've considered it and then I'm like nope, I'm just doing weight. That's good enough. Um because like think about like a like Resident Evil or something, right, where you have to do
hmm
inventory where you have to arrange them. That's great, but in D&D they have all these dozens and dozens of items and none of them have anything other than a weight limit. So yeah, sure, your backpack fits so many cubic feet. How many javelins is that? They're not very much cubic feet, but they're also long. So like, but there's no rules for that anywhere. So they leave it open to they're like, hey, if you want to be pedantic enough to deal with that, anyone can write the rules on that. Here's the space for the containers, but we're not doing it.
well,
I'm totally fine with that. I just don't want to bookkeep it.
yeah, well, in this mission, since there's no towns, it it makes that easier because you're not going to be just going to an item shop and buying whatever the hell you want.
Well,
So,
it's hard when you're exploring because you come across a room with
yeah,
the room you guys came across. It's got 50 weapons, and it's like, okay, how much can we carry based on our weight? What if I was like, okay, but
yeah.
you also have to calculate the cubic feet of how many spears you can fit in your backpack, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not taking anything then because I'm not doing that. So
No,
if you can figure out a way to do
I
that that makes it easy, then yeah,
I think what I do is, well, also since we have these spreadsheets, I probably would just build the spreadsheets with the sacks with the containers for you, and then just kind of have, each one is so many slots, and then just be like,
I
okay, Tinder and matches takes up one, but a short sword takes up three, and
yeah, have
just kind of make it
build
up as we go along.
build a tab, and every time we get a new item, we have to place that item on the grid to see how big it is, and we can cut and paste, and we have to Tetris it into our
I
bag.
would do that if I didn't have to go and make
No, no, no,
a
no, no.
grid for every item. I think I can
no,
do it. I think I can do it generally and actually make it make sense. So it's like, okay, are you putting this in sack A or sack B? Let's go look and see what you have in that sack. I
Eh,
don't think this is gonna fit because you're already at, like you said, the items don't have cubic feet, but I think we
yeah,
can kind of like, eyeball it as we go along. So it's basically there's no place to go stock up on resources. You're not going to have a ton of stuff to begin with. And then it's going to be as you go along, you're grabbing items and then you have to decide if you have it. And then you're looking for other containers,
I
to
yeah,
store
I
stuff.
think that's probably a good way to do it because while I would like, God, remember, I think it was Travis where he was like trying
Yes.
to
Take every
carry so many
weapon.
items. And I was like, where are you keeping all of those? And he was like trying to like not argue, but he was like trying to justify where he was keeping them all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to spend 30 minutes arguing about where items go. So what I would be fine with in that sort of a situation would be I say my character picks up this item and tries to put it into his bag. If you say you can't get the item to fit. I accept that as a character of that universe. I'm trying to get the item in and I just can't get it to fit. But I would think that in order to resolve a situation like that, within reason, obviously, if it's just packed to the brim, is make some kind of a check. And that would determine whether your character is able to find a spot for it in the bag. So if you as the DM look at that and say, well, it's pretty much full, I don't think you could fit it, but I'll let you make a check to see if you can fit it. If I succeed on the check, I put it in. But if you say, no, your bag is absolutely full, there's not even a possible space you can try, then you just can't. As long as you're okay with adjudicating that on the spot and looking at it through our inventories, I'm fine with tracking which bags my items are in. I think that's totally reasonable for both of us to do. Instead of asking us to do all the tracking or you to do all the tracking, we track which bags they're in and the cubic feet of our bags. You have to look at that anytime we add an item and say yes or no.
Yeah, I think we can make that work. So then it can be more of a, resource matters type of an experience where you're actually having to like make decisions and all that. So I think it'll be a fun mission, and because of some of the restrictions, we'll have an opportunity to play with some mechanics we haven't before. And it's dungeon heavy, so it doesn't get too convoluted with traveling back and forth and like whatever, like you're just going room to room.
I'm looking forward to a dungeon crawl. By the way, can you guys hear that?
What
in the background?
What?
No.
Okay, good. My AC is really loud, but I was just making sure. I guess my noise canceling on my microphone is pretty good.
Oh no,
I just turned it on to test it because it was getting hot, but that's good then.
No, it sounds fine. I thought you were hearing my computer fan.
No. Yeah, okay, good. That was the test. I didn't want to explain it because I wanted to get your honest answers.
I was worried I was hearing voices again. And then you were like, "Can you guys hear that?" I was like, "Oh, thank God!" Oh, he's not talking about the voices. Fuck.
But yeah, no, that sounds good. And yeah, we'll even though we've gone a little bit over time so far, I think we can still finish everything, give some exposition, and then we can call this the last game until after EverQuest. That way we have during EverQuest to talk. We can talk about our characters while we're grinding in Unrest or whatever. And then when we're ready to play, we can start fresh with your game. My game's on pause, and then we can focus on yours instead of trying to do back and forth for a little while.
Okay, cool.
You guys ready to start then?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Okay, I am starting my recording. All right, so when we last left off, you had completely cleared out the Ruin Moat house top to bottom, didn't leave any rooms unchecked, and you even managed to collect a cloak that was hidden in the ogre's pile of filth at the last minute with a clutch detect magic by Pantok that was completely his idea and conveniently worked even through the layers of earth below your feet.
What?
The map that you guys are on is actually an alternate map, the first one that I downloaded until I started looking at stuff. Yeah, until I started looking at it compared to the book, and I was like, wait a second, this isn't here. This doesn't look like this. This isn't that. Like, there's supposed to be a chest here. There's supposed to be a barrel here. There's supposed to be animal skins. Like, there's all this shit that's not supposed to be there. So the other one was better, but this is an alternate map. Just to show you guys one of the other options. Also, look at the freaking webs in this room. Gee, I wonder if there's a spider in here. So when we last left, you have completely cleared out the thing. You claimed 2 war horses, which seem to be obeying you just fine. And you've all snuggled into this very, very small room with the 12 or so of you crammed in there together. And you've begun to take a long rest. During which you have cast Detect Magic, which is what notifies you of the cloak. And you have detected several items which are magical. And during your rest, I'm going to hand wave it for sake of brevity. You have Identify, and you have a lot of people who can investigate stuff. So during your rest, you identified 4 magic items from what you've collected. And none of the other items are pinging as magical. And if you do identify them, none of them identify as magical. So you can rest assured that these 4 items I'm about to list are the only 4 magic items you've gotten. Does that sound good?
Yep.
The rest of it will all be
Yes.
treasure. Okay. I did send these in the chat the night after the game. I'm assuming no one looked at them, which is fine. Zach has a 999 ping. Zach, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh-oh. I know, no,
Oh,
Zach.
he was
Zach's the
having
only one who
internet
has ping.
problems.
Yeah, that's why I noticed that, and then I was making sure. Okay, it dropped back down, but he's probably still lagging. Zach, once you hear me say this, let me know. Oh God, yeah, Zach should make a barbarian. He said earlier in Messenger. He said, "I'm gonna make Barbsy the barbarian."
Oh,
Why, Nick, why, the mild, the mild?
huh?
It's the Miles. The Miles is here.
What about Miles?
Why, I didn't know he was here until I heard him, but I thought Noah was here, and now I'm confused.
Noah just left, and now Miles is here.
Oh,
It's a swap out.
why?
Cause he's spending the night.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm spending the night.
Why?
There's shit. Oh, that's a bummer.
Okay, anyways, you guys can continue talking about actual shit.
Oh, it's fine. We're waiting on Zach. He's is/was lagging.
Oh, 999 ping.
Yeah, he went back down to his normal ping. Oh, I saw him cue his microphone. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah, well, it would go back to my normal ping for like a split second, and I'd hear you say like 15 things simultaneously, and then it would cut out again, and then it'd do it again, and it kept doing that for like a minute.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Long story short, because I don't know what you heard, but I'll just recap. You looked through all your magic items, and you know that what the magic items I'm about to read off are all the magic items you found.
Oh, Max, could you please bring me the headset from the computer out there? Noah's gone now, so I'm going to switch back to the good
Oh, yeah.
headset. Because you guys can hear me fine, but I don't have a covering on both of my ears.
Yep,
So one of
that's
my
the main thing.
ears is, Miles screaming and stuff.
Yeah, it's noise canceling and the ear covering. That's the main expense of good headsets, not the microphone.
Oh, actually, the headset that I have with the ear covers, it was like $25 at Target,
Oh wow.
but it still covers my ears, so he can't find his Pokemon cards or something. So now he's like, if I lost my Pokemon cards, then I lost a whole bunch of money because I have an energy from 1995.
Did he check the trash? Maybe my ex threw them in the trash.
Ah. Yeah, Miles, I have an entire box full of 1995 energies.
Don't
I just lost a whole lot of
I
money.
literally have hundreds of those. So
don't tell him that. He'll go do something to him.
If it was
He'll
worth
use that
money,
as
I would
leverage.
still have them. Okay, so my vacuum fan kind of sucks.
Oh.
It doesn't add anything. So my laptop cooler, my cooling pad is badass, but the vacuum just doesn't really add anything to it. So
Yeah, you can only get so much airflow.
well, what it does is it forces all of the air to come out one of the vents, and I have 2 vents, so it doesn't actually increase the airflow.
Yeah. I think it might be better for something like where you can't put a fan on it, but you can fit the vacuum pump. That way it allows airflow without having a big bulky fan. I don't know how it's set up, but that's what I would imagine. Do you have your headset now, or is it gonna be a minute?
It's not yet, but it's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna start describing stuff. If you need me to repeat something or get your headset so you can swap it, just let me know. And you can interrupt me.
Okay, I'm just interrupting you to say that my mini fan by itself does almost nothing, so.
Mini fan?
Yeah, my vacuum fan. I'm just
Oh, the
trying
vacuum,
different things. Yeah, okay, but it's definitely like 15 degrees, so it keeps me out of the red zone with my big thing. So, okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm done fucking with my fans.
All right. So you collected 4 magic items. 3 of them were from Lareth himself, and 1 of them was found in the ogre's pile of trash. The one that was found in the ogre's pile of trash is a cloak of Elvenkind, which was completely hidden from sight and buried under all the refuse, and basically impossible to find unless you were searching for it or had some way to
Max, is
detect
there
magic.
any chance that you can go get me that headset? Because no, it's okay. Just Miles literally will not stop yelling at the top of his lungs. You don't need to be in a rush ever in your life. There is never anything important enough in your life for you to be in a rush.
Bro's trying to speedrun live.
Yeah? Yeah, he actually is.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Max. Okay, I'm switching headphones.
Okay, let me know once they're set up and working.
Yay!
I'm cracking. Oh! Oh, it's got my... Oh my god. It's getting my... Jesus Christ.
Max, could you fill up?
It's using my, There. Okay. It was, my laptop speaker. So...
Yeah.
It just took time for it to recognize it, so... Okay, now I've got everything on my headset, and now I can actually hear you, and I can ignore everything else that's going on.
And the stream's working?
And the stream is working, yes.
Okay,
Everything
good.
is actually working now.
Georgia, come here.
All right. So the cloak of Elvenkind, it is just a regular cloak of Elvenkind, if anyone knows what that is, but I'll quickly describe it here. While wearing the cloak with the hood up, which is an action to move it up or down, perception checks made to perceive you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on dexterity checks to hide as the cloak changes color to camouflage you. So
Oh
it's a stealth
my
cloak.
god, it's a
It's-
rogue cloak.
It's double advantage because they have disadvantage and you have advantage. So yeah, it's basically the rogue cloak. I believe it requires attunement, but I can check really quick.
Who has it?
That would be Pantok who found it. You all have all of these items. These are items that have been identified by all of you during a long rest, and you can decide how to distribute them amongst you before we finish the rest.
I remember
So-
that cloak, and I remember writing it down, but I do not see it, so
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
don't know-
to write it down.
I don't know who has it. I can check later, but no one has any of these items right now. They're in a pile in the middle of the floor.
Okay. I remember writing it down on my inventory when I first got it, though, or when you first told me what it was, so...
I believe it was Pantok who originally found it, so it's probably on Pantok's sheet if you want to remove it.
Okay, and... Oh, remove it? Okay.
Yes, because it is currently in a pile in the middle of the floor, so it's in no one's inventory, and it will not be in anyone's inventory until the end of this rest.
Okay, maybe that's why I didn't have it. Maybe I actually deleted it. Okay. Okay, so Cloak of Elvenkind. Sweet.
Yep, Cloak of Elvenkind, so basically stealth cloak. Lareth also had a ring on his finger, which when identified, you identify it as a ring of free action. While wearing this ring, Cloak of Elvenkind does not require. It does require attunement. So, ring of free action. While wearing the ring, you ignore difficult terrain, and you cannot be slowed, paralyzed, or restrained by magic. So
Does
any
somebody have
spell.
that written down?
Someone probably does. No one should have any of these items written down. They're all in a pile in the middle of the floor. At the end of my reading, someone will write down every item. If anyone has the copies of the items, they will remove those items.
Okay.
Ring of free action also requires attunement. But yeah, basically you can't be immobilized by magic. So vines can still wrap around you. Someone can still grapple you.
But but you ignore all difficult terrain, right?
Yes. All difficult terrain is ignored, but slow, paralyze, or strain is only by magic.
Okay.
The other two are Lareth's staff and his armor. The plate armor is +1 plate armor, which is just regular. There's nothing special about it. But and magic items, when you equip them, they do resize to fit the wearer. So whether you're small, medium, or large, the plate armor will fit your body perfectly. But it is made of coal black, tar black steel, and emblazoned with a giant red and gold flaming eye on the front. So not the kind of thing you want to be wearing around casually. But if you needed it for you're going up again for a big battle or something, you could wear it. So it's great armor, but it's not the greatest look.
Conspicuous.
Yes, very conspicuous. And the last but not the least is a staff of striking, an item I am a little bit reluctant to actually give you, but it's in the book, and I'm not going to stray from the book unless I absolutely have to. It is a +3 quarterstaff. That means +3 attack and +3 damage. It also has 10 charges, which when you hit with the staff, you can expend up to 3 of them. Each expended charge causes that attack to deal an additional 1d6 force damage. The staff recharges 1d6 plus 4 charges every dawn, but if you expend the final charge, there's a 5% chance the staff becomes non-magical. So it's a +3 staff plus some extra bullshit.
Okay, did you
basically
say...
Paladin Smites.
On a hit, you have up to 3 charges. Each charge deals 1d6 additional force damage, and every dawn it recharges 1d6.
1d6 plus 4, so between 5 and 10 charges recharge.
Oh God!
Yeah.
1d6 charges.
Yeah, 10, but up to 5 to 10 charges every day. And you can spend 3 to deal 1d6 damage each. So it's insane if you use quarterstaffs. So
I'm gonna point out that Pantok, as a wizard, can use quarterstaffs. So if anyone wanted to make him melee talk, that is an option.
Shit.
I believe quarterstaff is quarterstaff's a simple weapon, so really anyone can use it. And there's nothing special about the staff of striking itself that requires any specific bonuses. It would benefit the person who is the best at who has the best strength, really, because it's a strength attack with a quarterstaff. And Shillelagh does not work on it because it's a magical item, and it does require attunement. So I'm not going to recommend who it should go to. But just consider that it is a strength-based weapon, and it has nothing to do with magic or arcane casting whatsoever. So giving it to a wizard just because wizards he has staves is not necessarily a good strategy.
I
But
agree.
you can wield it though.
However, Pantog has a +0 to strength, so with the +3 from the staff, he would actually be at the same attack rating as his dagger, his firebolt, and his light crossbow.
Yeah.
Because of the +3, it would actually be equivalent to him. So it would just give him the and Justina probably can use quarterstaves, but the reason I'm not saying her is because she already has a good dexterity weapon, and plus she has flame blade she can summon. But Pantog only really has, if he's gonna melee, all he can really do is dagger. And usually he wouldn't melee, he would do firebolt. But if he's at melee range, then he would get disadvantage with Firebolt, so Pantog does not have a way to melee. Not saying he should have it, just saying that it would actually be useful on him, and he would have an additional attack option when it comes up.
He also does not have extra attack and never will get it. So someone with extra attack could use it to attack twice for +3/+3 and the ability, and he would just be stuck. It's basically a quarterstaff that's a +3 to hit. So absolutely Pantog can equip and wear that, and I'm not going to give any further advice on who should get it. I'll let you guys decide that.
Toddy has
that
a
is it.
-1 strength, so would be able to do slightly less with it than Pantog. Kara
I'm
has
also stuck at -1 strength.
a -1
so...
strength, and at least not yet, does not have extra attack. Actually, do rogues get extra attack?
No, they don't. Have you counted all your party members, or was that the end?
Well, then we've got
Ahem.
we've got the NPCs.
Yeah,
No,
the NPCs.
Nokra and Justina are not NPCs.
Oh, he already listed Justina. He's totally forgetting Zach's dwarf, though.
Oh, yes,
The
I am.
paladin.
Yes, I am totally forgetting Zach's dwarf.
I was trying to hint, but I don't know. Either Zach couldn't hear me because he's lagging, or wasn't thinking about it either. You have a martial
I don't
character.
pick up on hints.
You have a martial character who can use martial weapons very effectively,
That's right. Okay.
and you just got a +3 melee weapon.
Yep, totally forgot about.
Yeah, but I'm also going to be taking that breastplate,
Why not?
Yeah,
both?
load you up. Wasn't
There
that
you
you guys' plan? Is load up the new character so they're super strong right out the gate?
Exactly.
Okay.
That was the whole plan.
Also, she's a
I
lower
know, I'm sorry,
level, so it would compensate.
I don't pick up on hints very well.
Now,
Sorry.
I will say, it is a quarterstaff, which means it is only 1d6 damage, but it's versatile, so you can use it with two hands for 1d8. So, I was very heavily hinting it should go to Noe, but I think the pluses counter that out, and then of course he doesn't have double strike yet, or it's double strike. He doesn't have extra attack yet anyway. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I was just reminding you, staff. Because I know that with the way we think is EverQuest and World of Warcraft, staff is not a melee type weapon, but it
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
could be, especially for someone who doesn't have a magical weapon. I believe everyone except for Kara and Noe have a way to do magical damage, so that would be good. But yeah, other than that, you guys can decide who gets it. And it is not absolutely it needs to go to Noe, otherwise I would have said that. It can totally go to someone else. Pantog would be a good second choice. But yeah, you got 4 magic items, so each of you can have one, and there's going to be an extra anyway. So I will pause here to let you guys discuss on your own without my input who should get which equipment, or if you want to pause to decide later. Keep in mind, however, 3 of them require attunement, which you can do during this rest if you'd like to.
Okay, what are your guys' thoughts on the items?
Okay. I can't pronounce this person's character. Nokra?
Noe.
Noe?
Yeah, it's Noe.
There's
Noe is short for
Why is
Noakra.
it say...
He
Okay.
put the full name on it, but you can just call him Noe.
Noe. Noe should buff up, like we said. And I'm struggling to find someone to take that ring thing. Like, teehee. I don't know who should. Teehee. Hem. Did
Cuddle.
one of you just at hem?
I think you should give it to Tokage. That was Elmo.
Tokage would be perfect. Tokage would love that. Did you type out these fucking items?
I did. Cloak of Elvenkind, which evades perception. Ring of
Yeah.
Free Action, which allows free movement over difficult terrain, and you cannot be slowed or immobilized by magic. Staff of Striking is a 1d6 or dual-wielded 1d8 staff that has +3 damage, +3 attack, and
God damn.
an ability to deal force damage by expending charges.
I went ahead and I know you wrote them down already, but just for everyone else, I pasted it in the Greyhawk text channel.
Thank you.
So, Noe, what weapon are you currently wielding?
I have a great axe, which is 1d12. That's for two-handed. And I have a warhammer, which is 1d8, which I switched to when I switched to my shield.
And what is your strength modifier?
+3.
+3. Okay, so right now your axe is minimum 4 damage, maximum 15. If you switch to the quarterstaff, it would be 1d8 two-handed +3. So it would be 3, 4, minimum 7, maximum 8 +3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. So right now you have your two-handed is 4 to 15. With the staff, it would be 7 to 14. So it would have a slightly lower maximum damage, but it would have a higher minimum by a considerable amount. So even though you'd be going from 1d6...
Wait, why does it have a higher minimum?
Because it is a +3 magic weapon, so it has +3 damage.
Oh, I thought the +3 was to attack.
Both.
A magic weapon that has a plus on it is going to be, you add that plus to the attack and the damage. So you will get a +3 higher attack, and your minimum damage will be +3 higher. Your
I
maximum
will hit
damage...
more consistently. I might not hit for as much when I do maximum, but I will hit more often, and it'll probably average out.
Yeah, I mean, basically, your damages become 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you have a smaller range and a lower minimum, which means 4, 5, 6. Basically, you're dropping the 3 lowest damages and the 1 highest damage. So overall, it's an improvement. Now, your other weapon is 1d8, and the staff would switch to 1d6, which would still be a minimum of 7, and then the maximum would be 6 plus 6, which is 12, and currently your maximum is 11. So it would be outright better than your Warhammer, which is 4 to 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, but doesn't Pantok actually want it?
I mean, he's a wizard. He does not currently have an effective melee, but I mean, he can always take a spell later. I mean, he's not usually in a position to do it, and the amount of time he's going to be using a melee attack, you're talking melee maybe once per battle if he happens to be right next to something. But usually he's going to be getting away from things, whereas Noe is going to be hitting all the time. So overall, party damage would increase more if Noe took the staff.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, she'll take it as long as you don't want
Take
it.
it. I know what I want. I think you guys would never guess what I would want
You
as the designated rogue.
You want the
You'll
rogue?
never believe it. You'll never believe it ever.
I'm gonna guess you want the other 2 items.
I want the cloak.
You don't want the ring of free action?
I also want the free fuck. Yes, the free
Whoa.
fuck, free fuck.
The free fuck.
What?
The ring of free fucking.
TMI.
Yeah,
So,
I want the ring of free action. That sounds fucking badass.
I like the idea of stacking characters to make them ridiculously powerful. So if you have both of those, then that's a significant boost as opposed to 2 characters getting a minor boost. But, you know, a big part of that is the mobility. Preventing from movement, I mean, that's not going to come up a lot. When it is, then it's useful. But also being able to travel over difficult terrain means that there are cases where, like, there was something recently where it made something difficult terrain that would just let you, like, potentially outrun people. So if you're owning the map and really using mobility to get into optimal positions and utilizing it, then that would be a big benefit.
Yes.
So I don't mind.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
And you can always swap the items later if later you decide someone else needs something or whatever. This is not a
Yeah.
permanent decision. This is just you've discovered these items, decide where they go, so that you can go to the next thing. Sounds like Noe gets the armor and the weapon, and Kara gets the cloak and the ring.
Yay. Yippee.
Keep in mind this plate
Yes.
armor is probably not something you want to go waltzing into town with, just because of the way it looks. But that's up to you. If you want to try and do something to disguise it or wear something over it, that's also fine.
That's what I was thinking. I was going to pick up some sort of a tabard type thing to drape over it in town.
I mean, your clothes fit over your armor. You're not usually wearing, unless you particularly want to. You can put clothes over armor. I'm sure as a paladin you have stuff that fits over your armor.
I'm going to pick the ring and the cloak up and drape the cloak over me, and it's a little bit big because I'm a little kobold, but I give a thumbs up, and now I'm writing them down.
It instantly shrinks to your perfect size, and it's like it was made for you.
Perfection!
What is the staff and the plate item called again, so I can write them down correctly?
Plus 1 plate, but you can call it +1 black steel plate, just to remind you of what it is. And the staff is staff of striking +3. And you don't need to write these down, but Kara, you are currently using 2 attunement slots, and Noe is currently using 1 attunement slot. You have a total of 3 items you can attune to at a
Okay.
time. That'll only be relevant if you get more attunement items, so not at the moment.
Damn, I didn't know. Well, I mean, it's kind of like obvious that items have a limit of how much you can attune to certain items, but we've never really
Yeah.
gotten this far.
So there's 2 different kinds. There's items you have to attune to and items that you don't. Attunement items take an hour, a short rest to attune to, and you can only have 3 attuned at the same time. Which in
Oh.
older editions, basically one character could just be like full of magic items and they get insane. So in this, to try and curb that and try and reduce the power of stuff, the power creep, some items you don't have a limit. So like the +1 plate, that doesn't require attunement. You're wearing it, it just gives you, it's just better armor. But for actual magic items that do stuff, you can only have a maximum of 3. and the attunement time is to stop you from just swapping back and forth. So like middle of combat, you take off your ring and toss it to someone else. They don't want you micromanaging like that either. So you have to spend dedicated time to attune to it. So it's
Okay,
really
that
not a
makes sense.
mechanic that ever matters unless you're super high level in a high magic game, though. All right, everyone got all their items written down?
Writing it down right now.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
All right. And yeah, I don't see the cloak on anyone else's sheets, so I think you're good. You probably never ended up writing it down. All right, so I also don't have a link for Noe's character sheet. Man, I'm not. I
I'll
might.
send you a link.
Yeah, you can send me a link later. Don't worry about it. But I just realized I was like, oh yeah. Okay, so you have completed your rest, and it was late evening, so your rest finishes early in the morning. Nothing has disturbed you while you slept. Unless anyone wanted to do anything during the rest, I will pause briefly to allow anyone to interject. Your rest completes in the morning, and it is daylight as the sun peeks in through the cracks in the walls. What would you like to do?
First thing in the morning is we wake up. No way. I'm going to tend to Tokage's needs, if he has any.
He does not seem to have any particular needs other than food, which I'm assuming was dealt with, as all of you are when you eat in the morning.
Indeed.
All right, so you all wake up and have your rations and drink and wipe the sleep from your eyes and pick up camp.
Yep.
What would you like to do now?
So, you guys.
Probably head back to town, right?
Yeah.
We've
Wow.
got
We've got a lot of shit to convey to our masters.
and to sell and probably level up.
Yep. So back to the town we go.
Jacina is going to swap out Lesser Restoration for Speak with Animals.
All right.
You guys healed up all your hit points and any of your abilities, right?
That's what I'm doing now.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, when Jake says all that stuff about short resting or about long resting, that's the cue to do that. And when he says, okay, the next day begins, what do you want to do? Before you think about waking up, you should, because at the end of the long rest is actually when you heal up, so that should be the first thing you do.
Yeah.
Yep, that's just a narrative way to say your long rest is completed, so do whatever you need to do with the long rest. I don't role play rests anymore. That takes way too much time, especially with us.
Yeah, it's basically just he's talking for a minute while we all have a chance to go reset all of our stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
if you have any good berries, those are gone now. So delete any good berries that you have.
They are gone.
Oh, and also remove any buffs. So Pantok no longer has clarity or mage armor or mirror image.
So basically, Pantok is back to from being super buff to hasn't worked out in 3 weeks.
Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Yes.
Yes, but also he has a shit ton of magic points, so he's not too sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you rest and it's like all your spells wear off, but then you feel a surge of just magic coursing through you.
So yeah, I think we're done here, right? Was there anything else we needed to explore? I think killing that last guy was basically the last thing we needed to do here, right? There's no Oh, do you want to kill? No, the ogre. He turned
The
out to
ogre's
be.
already gone.
Yeah, he turned out to be an oni, and he didn't have any good treasure
Yeah.
anyway. So
And now I'm
Except
cursed,
for the cloak of
bitches!
Elvenkind.
Woo!
Yeah, the cloak. That's not good treasure.
oh yeah, he did have the treasure. Sorry, when you were doing the recap at the beginning, Miles was standing next to me, bitching loudly
Oh, I didn't recap that part.
about how he can't find the Pokemon cards.
Oh!
And then when he stopped standing here screaming about how he can't find his Pokemon cards and actually went out and looked for them, then he came back 5 minutes later and said, I found my Pokemon cards. It's like, yeah, that's usually what happens when you look for things instead of screaming at the universe about it. Okay, so we're done here, guys? We're going to head back?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
Then,
yep, yep.
so we have 2 horses and a lizard. So who wants to ride what?
I figured Noe and Toddy would share a horse.
Has Tokage received... He's never been ridden on precisely before, but I
He has not.
assume we can start trying.
He has not been ridden on, and you have a saddle which you have not yet tried to put on him yet.
Okay. I'm gonna take Tokage out here. Oh, let's go. And with this open space, I'm gonna attempt to put a saddle on him and try to make it as snug as possible for him and try to ride him.
Make an animal handling check.
That sounds suspicious.
Yeah, also like these doors here, these are totally supposed to be busted down, like smashed in, and they're just like, door.
Door.
They're not even double doors, it's just 2 doors in the wall.
What is Tokage's travel speed for travel purposes?
45 feet.
14.
He reluctantly allows you to put the harness on him, but he looks uncomfortable and kind of like a cat when you put a harness on them, how he's kind of like, his limbs are kind of like splayed out a little bit more than usual, and it looks like he's not sure what to do, but he is wearing it without fussing.
Yay! Okay. Now I am going to be as soothing as possible, but try to... This sounds so weird. Try to mount him.
You can
Oh,
use, I mean,
God.
you can use other words if you want. Climb on top of, wait, no.
No!
Reverse cowgirl. Oh no.
Enough.
You attempt to do that, and he looks at you warily as you put your foot in the holster and attempt to hoist yourself up. Make an animal
Okay.
handling check with disadvantage.
Tokage, it's okay. Oh dear. Shit. Okay, 17 or it's gonna be a 1. No! No, please. No. Okay. 8.
He doesn't buck you off immediately, but as you're sitting on him, he's just like standing there, not moving.
Oh, Tokage. Tokage, you're supposed to be a little bit more like a horse today. I know this is new for you. Oh my god, this sounds really weird.
Keep in mind, he does not speak common, so anything you
I'm
do will have to
aware.
be. You can absolutely. There might be a way you can role play into him
Yes,
doing
I
something.
know. I'm
but
just talking to him.
Justina swapped out speak with animals, so she can talk to him.
Unfortunate. It's okay. So I'm trying to remember what the thing was called. Or okay, so like you know how saddles have like, is it called a hoister or something like that? Like
which part? Describe it.
It usually goes in the horse's mouth.
A bit?
It's not that specifically, but there's like a not a string, but a thing that you hold on to, and
The reins?
yes, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, those are part of the saddle.
Okay. Kara tries to lead him with the reins to move around in a circle, like, like training a horse. If
He
Tokage doesn't respond nicely, then he'll stop.
he hesitantly responds to your movements, but not immediately. There's like a delay in between, like a couple second delay. Like you tug the reins to the right and he delays, and then he turns way far around, and then you tug him to the left and he turns just a little bit, and then you tug again and he turns all the way around. So he doesn't
Oh,
seem like he's really taking to it immediately, but it is working and he's not kicking you off right away.
practice makes perfect. We can try this a little more on the road. Kara's gonna get off for the time being, and Tokage, stay here for a moment. Stay there. Going back, I come back in and say, so Tokage's training has gone okay. I think I can ride him along the road, but he might be a little bit fussy about it. If you guys were planning on riding on mounts too. Which I'm pretty sure you are, because we have these two epic new horses. Hello, Bojack and Bucephalus. Oh my god, I just saw the photo of the bearded dragon. You said that looks like when I have like a I have like a little harness thing for Gizzard, but it's not like exactly like that. It's more just like a really soft string that doesn't hurt him.
Yeah, it's I couldn't imagine they would like harnesses, but
Nope.
apparently they exist. There's plenty of pictures of them.
You can sort of harness train a lizard, but it's like walking a cat, like you said. They're just gonna run around and do their own thing. Really, the only reason the harness part of it exists is so they don't crawl into a hole somewhere or something.
Is everyone else there?
Oh yeah,
Like
sorry.
in real life.
I'm. Oh wait, in real life or in the game?
Both.
In real life.
Yes, but I kind of checked out of the lizard interaction because I could tell it was going to be a while, and I'm watching a video of a boxing coach liver shot an asshole bully student that kept beating everyone up, and then was like, "I want to fight the coach so I can fight someone my level," and he's like, "Okay."
That's pretty great.
He's in.
Your party's.
He's actually in a group that I'm in, so it wasn't like a random YouTube
Oh,
thing.
okay.
He was just like, "I hate bullies, and here's a funny story."
Yeah, Kara came back and is now attempting to interact with the party. So
Great. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Kara.
So Tokage's harness training has gone sort of smoothly. I feel like he'll be a little bit fussy and hesitant on the road, but he'll learn on the road.
Oh, good. You have
Just
like a
he won't
beaten
be-
stick.
No!
Well, I don't know how you. I mean, when you break a horse, you usually,
No, fuck off.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
No, horse breaking is a thing, and it's not necessarily violent, but sometimes it's not necessarily nice, so I don't like it. Yeah, so awesome. So you'll ride the lizard, and then we have two horses, and one of them will go to Noe and Toddy. Now, we kind of have a lot of NPCs. So
there is no configuration for your current party that will allow you to move any faster than 30 feet travel distance.
okay, so the warhorse That's what these are. Are these war horses?
Yeah.
Okay, and they can hold 2 people?
Yep.
Okay. Why can they hold 2 people?
Because I determined that they can.
Can
Because
a
mounts normally can only
Because
hold one.
I said so.
Okay, so like a riding horse would only be able to hold 1.
Correct. Horse mounts can normally only hold one, but they're like big creatures, so I'm saying 2 because I don't want to manage 6 or 7 horses in the future.
Okay, and we have 4 NPCs. So I'd like to ask the goblins, now that we have defeated their enemies here, what are their plans?
Oh,
Do they
yeah.
have a tribe to return? I think we actually found one of them nearby. So do they have a tribe near here? Because they can't really go back to live in the city. They went with us, and we kept them safe. But we're gonna be probably moving on soon. Did they want to join us, or are they going back to their tribe, or what was their plan?
They look kind of downtrodden that you assumed that they were only in the city because of you guys. They're like, "Oh, we kind of liked it there. It was pretty nice. I thought we, I mean, we did help
Well-
defeat this horrible evil that was in here. So I know. I mean, I guess we could." And almost says, "No, you are welcome to come stay in Hamlet. I will
Yes.
watch over you and make sure that you are recognized for the heroes that you are. You helped just as much as we did here." And
Or
they,
you could take back the knowledge of what it's like to live in a nice place to your people and help them build society better.
Boyne starts to cry profusely, and Krell comforts them and says, "I thought we told you, but I guess it never came up. Our tribe is all dead and or enslaved.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
my
no.
bad.
We were we came from a small village in the Sus Forest, and
Sus.
yeah, this is the name. It's SUSS. I know. And I don't remember. Sorry, I don't remember if it's a bugbear or a hobgoblin. I think it's a hobgoblin. Came to the village. I think it was a bugbear, and said that he was recruiting us for his army of bandits, and I didn't want to go, or I was sorry. Hold on. Krell was being recruited, and Boyne volunteered to go to watch over Krell. So they both went with the bugbear and did like petty thievery and robberies and brigandry and stuff like that. But the bugbear was super abusive to all of his goblins, and he was like killing them and stuff, and he threatened them. He said, "If you ever try to leave, then I'm gonna go kill your whole tribe." And so they managed to escape and went back to their tribe, but he had already slaughtered all the goblins and burned down their village.
Oh.
So that was why. Then they came over here to wander around, and that was when the cultists found them. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
So yeah, he's
okay.
he's currently east of the forest, and he's got a whole thing going on over there. They don't know what's going on there, but they don't have anywhere to go to.
Do they want to travel east and kill him?
I mean, that would be cool at some point, but I mean, that's more like a revenge type of thing later on.
Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we already got the knowledge that we're going to be heading on to a city. I feel like we had to decide between 2 of them, but we already expect to be leaving Hamlet, right?
Meta, yes. Non-meta, no.
Okay, so our characters do not know that they're going to be moving on.
Correct. You are currently seeking the Temple of Elemental Evil, which you have no idea where it is. You have gained the information that the Temple of Elemental Evil is active, which you are going to bring back to your mentors in town and they will tell you what to do with that information.
Okay, so how about this? I want to talk to the NPCs, all 4 of them. The gnome Narf. Wait, yeah, the gnome Narf, Elmo the human, and the goblins Krell and Boyne, and tell them that we are seeking the Temple of Elemental Evil, and since we have discovered that it is still active, we are going to be bringing this information back to our mentors in Hamlet, and we're hoping that they will help us further our quest to seek it out. So we are planning to leave Hamlet at some point, but we don't know when or where, because we're seeking out the Temple of Elemental Evil. So I would like to ask each of them. I mean, we're traveling back to Hamlet with all of them at this point.
Yeah.
If the goblins had a tribe they were going to, then we technically could fit everyone on mounts because Jacina can turn into a riding horse. But if the
Nice.
Yeah, but if the it's exactly 2.
So your question, riding horse can carry 2.
Can carry 2?
Yeah. Basically, large creatures, I'm saying you can have 2. Only one person can control it. The mount rules are absolutely the worst rules in the game, and no one really thought them through. 2 people can ride a horse very easily, but only one can control it, really. So, yeah, if someone's probably riding the bitch seat, sorry, I can't say that on YouTube.
Whoa.
Well, we're still short 1, but we almost could.
I mean, goblins are small; they could probably fit 2 to a medium-sized creature.
We could just tie them together and tie them behind one of the horses.
Yeah, I didn't.
You're so mean to the goblins. You guys are racist to them. You said go back to your tribe.
You did say that.
You
Okay.
literally did.
I did not consider Jacina riding horse, so let me redo the math. Tokage no, because Tokage is not really a mount. Tokage is going to be dragging you guys down because he's not mountable yet. So you would have 3 horses and 4 medium-sized creatures and 4 small-sized creatures. So you could do 3 medium-sized creatures. Jacina would be a horse. So you could do, and also I forgot Noe. Let's do it like this then. So those 2, Pantok and Elmo.
Make another horse and make it green, and that can be Jacina.
Nah, I'm just gonna leave Jacina here like this.
Fine.
I would.
Wow.
You're a little bit short, but shit, I mean, just because of the fact that Jacina turning into a horse and being a mount is a really cool idea. You can Kara as long as you know what, Kara and Noe, they're both small. Noe's not really small, but small enough. So the 3 small ones could ride Jacina. The only problem is Narf doesn't want to ride with the goblins. So you guys have to, if you want to ride horses, you're gonna have to figure something out about that.
Bro.
Okay,
Narf,
well,
don't be fucking picky.
would Kara not be riding on the lizard? Is that not working?
Right. The lizard is not currently allowing
Mountable.
riders. Oh, you could swap. You could do like that. Kara, because Kara is also small. So Kara and the goblins could ride on Jacina. You'd have to either dismiss your elemental pet or just let him lag behind and catch up later. Tell him to meet you at Hamlet.
I would think put Kara and the 2 goblins on one of the war horses since they're bigger. And then have Toddy and Pantok on Jacina. And then have... Shit.
However you want to split it up, the point is that, yeah, there's enough. You could squeeze. It won't be comfortable, and it's not going to be something you'll be able to sustain long term. But just to get back to town, it's only a 6-hour walk by foot, so it'd be... what's that? 50%. It'd be a 4-hour walk. A 4-hour ride, you could manage squeezing people onto mounts. As long as the 3 small characters, as long as the 3 small creatures are on one mount, you can split it up. So really, the micromanagement of it doesn't matter that much. Once you determine Jacina could be a horse, it just barely is enough within pushing range.
What's the DC of a warhorse?
Like 1/2.
Hey guys,
Yes?
Yes.
My organs have been exploding for the past 3
Oh,
days,
Go ahead.
so I'm gonna be right back.
Go ahead. Yes, warhorse is 1/2 CR. They're the same size as riding horses, though, so it's irrelevant unless combat is involved.
Oh, they're the same size.
They're both large.
Okay. Yeah, it's only one quarter anyway. Okay, well, if they're the same size, then yeah, sure. So let's do that configuration. So Jacina will expend a charge of, yeah, she was just gonna turn into a horse and carry someone, but so she's gonna expend a charge, and then Kara and both goblins can ride on her, and it's a squeeze, but that's okay because due to Tokage, we're gonna be slowed down anyway. And then Toddy and Pantok are unarmored, so they can squeeze Narf on with them. And then Elmo and Noe, which are fully armored medium creatures, they can fit on Bucephalus without too much.
Yeah, that way there's not extra. Yeah, that works. Now I will say, it really is not going to matter for the difference of like an hour, but in the future it might for longer travel distances. Your wild shape only lasts for half your druid level in hours, and it's rounded down, so it's actually you only can do horse form for 2 hours of the 4-hour travel. But because you're level 3 and you're basically level 4 after you level up, and that would give you the exact amount of time you need, I don't want to spend any more time talking about mounts, so I'm going to hand wave it that you can just mount all the way back. It would make literally like a 30-minute difference if I recalculated it. For the 2 hours of traveling with the horse and then 2 hours of not traveling, you're going to get there in 5 hours instead of 4 hours. So the difference would be 1 random encounter, but between you and me, I'm not rolling random encounters because we have about an hour left and I'm trying to get the shit done.
Okay, so how long is it going to take us to get back to town with our mounts?
4 hours.
Okay, well, that's pretty good. All right, so let's do that, and Pantok is going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor on himself.
Oop. You arrive back in town.
Yay!
Where'd Tokage go? Oh.
By the way, my computer is actually running almost 30 degrees cooler now that it's been conditioned for a while.
Nice.
Nice.
It was right around 200, and right now it's in the mid 70s, 170s.
Yeah, that's a significant difference.
Yep.
Did you ever get canned air to actually blow the dust out?
I did get canned air, and I fucked with it a little bit, and it didn't really do anything. So, like, nothing came out of it, so I was going to mess with it later.
Ah, gotcha.
But I did get canned air, so I have the ability to now. Great. Okay, so we arrive back in town, and we would like to go to the inn and stable our horses and Tokage. And then we're going to leave everyone that is not a PC in the inn and tell them to go ahead and rest up. We leave the goblins in the charge of Elmo, and we ask. Oh wait, well actually we were talking about this before.
Yeah, we never finished that. I just realized.
So we can talk about that like on the way or when we get back. But yeah, I wanted to ask all of them if who is interested with who is interested in joining us on our quest of evil, for free or for hire, and who would rather just not go.
So, welcome back, Kara. Is that correct? Back. Will?
Yeah, I'm here.
You didn't miss anything. So we went back to town, fast traveled. It took us 4 hours, and we stabled the mounts. And now we're asking the NPCs if any of them want to join us.
So the goblins say they don't have a home to go back to, but they kind of liked the town. Like, it seems like a nice town, and going back to a goblin tribe is really like goblins are evil. Like, they're not objectively evil, but generally their societies are evil. It's like insert bad thing here. It's so they don't really want to go back to that. Not that they can. So it's like their options are join a cult or go fend for themselves and die in the wild. So they like the town. Elmo says they're more than welcome in the town with their status. Of course, as long as they don't cause trouble, and they're happy with that. They have no interest in continuing to adventure. They are just happy and content to stay in the village and live a quiet life. And they wanted to get revenge against the guys that captured them, and now that they're all dead, they'll stay in the village, and if at some point you need them, they might be willing to help you out. But for now, they would rather just kind of chill out for a little bit. The last couple days have been pretty hectic for them. Yeah, their arc has ended. I'm gonna say this now because it never ended up coming up, and I don't know if it ever will unless you guys decide you want to go back. Krell reveals that he goes, "Whew, sure, I'm glad I never had to use any of my magic powers to fight there. That would have been scary." And
Oh.
Elmo says, "Magic powers?"
Everybody
one of you says
slow
that.
turns to look at Crow.
He says, "Oh yeah, I manifested sorcerer's powers during my childhood, but I've always been scared to use them because I'm a chaos magic sorcerer, so it can get kind of chaotic. But I was there if you needed me. But also, if I casted Chromatic Orb on anything, I would have stolen a share of the XP. So I didn't do that because I didn't want to steal your experience. But if things got in a bind, I would have tossed a Chromatic Orb."
Oh, cool.
He's a fully fledged character. But
Holy shit!
yeah, you guys didn't need him because you just fucking annihilated everything you came across.
Oh, but he doesn't
yeah,
want to come with us.
It was going to be like a dramatic reveal, like in the final boss fight, you guys were going to be getting your ass kicked, and he was going to be like, boom, and Chromatic Orb from the back, and you guys were going to be like, what the fuck? But then Kara one-shot the boss, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Which is great. I'm glad players should
Jake's
have...
like, finally, my moment to be a DM in PC. I will shine. Nope.
Players should always have the thing. You shouldn't ever make NPCs the stars of the show, but they were there just in case. Anyway, they're happy to just stay here. Elmo says that if the temple really is regaining power, which it seems like it is, he feels that it's his duty to stay here in town to help defend the town. So he was more than happy to join you guys, and he's happy to split the reward, which of course he'll use to help build up the town. But he does not believe he'll be going on any further adventures for the moment. But if you come across, if you do discover the temple and need his assistance, you're always welcome to come back and let him know, and he may be willing to help you out. And Narf says he was really hesitant to go in the first place to this one. He was kind of just like, he also wanted revenge, but he is not made for this kind of stuff, so he's going to go back to the city that he is from. But he appreciates the offer and is glad that you value him as a person. So none of your party members are going to be continuing with you if that's the final thing. So if you have anything else you want to say or ask them before I go and place their tokens in their respective locations.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Farewell. Farewell.
I think we're good without them anyway, since we found out how strong we are, and now that we've added Noe. But it was fun hanging out with them, and we appreciate the assistance they provided.
They say, Elmo says, "Oh, no worries. As long as you stay around in and around Hamlet, we'll meet again. We'll be in touch."
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see you guys again. Okay, well, we're gonna head off now. We're gonna talk to our mentors and give them updates.
Cool. So we're doing that first then?
As opposed to what?
Selling items. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me finish eating this Reese's.
Okay, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do mentors or items first? Maybe items.
You know, I always kinds of fuck. It always I can't think today. Everything hurts.
Mentors is going to be exposition and role playing and storytelling. Item selling is going to be money and experience. So whichever one you guys want to do first and whichever one you guys want to end with, we're going to ultimately try and do both tonight.
Selling.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. Then we can end with the exposition.
Yeah, that's my vote. Speaking of which, sorry, they're finishing the Reese's. As you arrive in town, you have successfully made it back to town with your spoils. The gold coin and coin equivalent items you have gathered, which include gems and coins, totals an equivalent gold value of 2,617 gold across the gems and gold. So,
Oh my god.
split across your party members. Oh yeah, Elmo's Elmo's not gone yet. I'm leaving him for now. Each party member who participated in the split, which is excluding Narf and the goblins, will get 437 gold and experience.
Is
Or
that
if you want
just gold, or is that not?
400,
Is that including the items?
that is including gold, platinum, silver, and gems. Because gems are a currency equivalent. You can trade them for coin directly, but most people will accept them as payment for their face value. So if you have a gem that's 100 gold, you can use 3 of them to buy something that's 300 gold, but if you want to turn it into gold, you have to go to a money changer and sell it to them, and they might give you a worse exchange rate. So gems are like, when you have thousands and thousands of gold or thousands of platinum, you usually carry it in gems instead of in gold itself, because gold
Just
gets
like
pretty
on
gold.
the PvP servers.
Yes,
days of yore.
exactly.
So who has the gems?
I have a bunch of them.
Okay, that's not.
I mean, I don't know who has the gems.
That's not.
No one here.
So Jacina doesn't have any loot worth money. Pantok has 2 gold chains and a thick gold chain with fire opals in it. So those items are not counted, right?
Correct. Those are jewelry / art objects, and they will have to be sold at a vendor, and the price that you sell them for determines how much experience you get.
Okay, so we do get that was one of my questions.
Yes.
But also we need to split that gold with Elmo as well, right?
Correct. So the coins are that 2617. You have a silver service set, an alabaster box filled with unguents, a golden necklace with 6 fire opals, and a platinum necklace set with a topaz. Did I also say, do you also have 2 golden necklaces?
Yes.
Okay, I forgot to write those down on my thing here because they were like a little side thing. But yeah, those 2. Elmo will request his 437 gold split now that you guys are back in town, and he will also accompany you to wherever the shop is you're selling your items to make sure you get a good deal, which he will then request 1/6 of the total split.
Got it. Okay, that works. Okay, so
So do I actually still have those gems, or was that the equivalent? Or
You have what you have in your inventory. Nothing has changed. But
Okay.
you gain experience based on how much treasure you accumulate. And gems,
that's
instead
right.
of making you sell the gems, because eventually you'll have to buy them back, because now you're going to have a mound of gold. And what are you going to do with a mound of gold? And that's how you carry things, is in gems. So any item which is gold or a gem is immediately counted towards your experience without having to sell it. But other items you have to sell, and magic items do not count for experience gold. If you sell a magic item, you just get the gold for it.
okay, so you keep the gems. You're not going to transfer those to gold. We're not going to split that money. There's really not a reason to. So you just hang on to that. But we're each going to get the experience from them plus the other stuff. Like Pantok has the platinum. He's not splitting the platinum. He's just going to hang on to it, and whatever the party needs, then we'll, whoever needs to pay
Okay.
for it. So, okay, so let's do that. So we'll give the XP for the stuff we have now, and then we'll go and sell the art objects, and then we'll add the gold and XP from that. So
Exactly.
right now we're only adding XP. And how much is that per person again?
It is 437, unless you would like to split it up differently. The total would be a little over 2,100. I get the exact number depending on how you guys want to split it. If you wanted to super boost someone, you can, but even splits 437.
I would say let's even split that for now and then see where we are when we
Yeah.
sell the
Yeah.
other objects. Okay, so that puts Pantok at 2647. And that puts Justina at... $25.80. Is that right, Jake? I feel like I'm...
Say the numbers again.
Okay,
I was
so
gonna wait for it till everyone's done, but I'll go ahead and do yours real quick.
Pantok was at... sorry.
I don't have what he was at. I only have the current total.
26.47 for Pantok?
I have 26.60.
Okay. I'm changing it. 26.60.
20. What?
How much was it?
What?
467?
437.
437.
And Justina is at 25.80?
Oh, hold on. I got my numbers messed up. According to this, Justina's at 9,000.
Okay.
I don't know. That actually might be why Pantox is messed up too. Hold on. My formulas are broken. I did something. Just hold on. I'm summing the whole column, but then later in the sheet, I typed other numbers in the column, so that's fucked it up.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, I got Justina. Say hers again.
25.80?
No, hold on.
I think that's
Let me
low. I
fix
think
Pantok.
I think I missed something. Because I think Justine had slightly more than Pantok, but now she has slightly less.
You said 26 what?
For
Or
who?
20. Sorry, Justina.
Okay, so Justina, I have 25.80.
I've got 26.47.
That sounds more correct. 26.47. Okay.
It's possible you didn't add the bear experience or the ogre quest experience, but that still isn't an exact difference.
26.47? That's what I had for Pantok. What should Pantok be?
Pantok, I've got 26.07. What did you say he was?
Ah, okay. 26.07. Maybe I added twice to Pantok or something.
That might be.
Because I had Pantok where Justina was supposed to be, and Justina less than what Pantok was supposed to be. So
Okay.
I must have fucked something up. Okay, so my numbers match your sheet now, so you can do the other players.
What's your XP at, Kara, after adding that?
I am lost in the numbers. I am lost in the sauce.
Oh, did you not add your XP when I gave you the amount? If you didn't, that's fine. I'm just checking.
Well, I know my current XP is 2,180. I don't know what you said to add right now. If you said
437.
437. Thank you.
And then Zach, did you add yours
Yep.
to both characters?
Toddy.
Okay, cool.
Toddy is at 2,590.
Yep.
And Noe is at 790.
Yep, both of those are correct.
2,617.
Staples button. That was easy.
2,670. That's a little high.
17.
Oh, still a little high. I've got 25.55. Say your number again. Let me see what the difference is.
So the starting number was 1,000 at 2,000. Ah, fuck! I'm so bad with numbers.
You can just give me your current amount.
2,617.
Okay, that's a difference of 62, and I don't have any entries for 62 in here. So did you have the previous number?
2,180.
Yeah, that's right, but that doesn't add up.
How?
hold
What? How
on,
much
hold on.
XP did you say again? God, I suck at numbers.
Did Kara participate in the bear challenge?
I think so. Yes.
Because I don't have XP for you on here. I think that was one where it was Justina, Pantok, and Noe. I'm not sure where it got off, but the last we were good until recently, and the last 3 experiences were the battle, the coins that you just got, and completing the ogre's quest. So your current experience should be 25.55. Not sure where it got off the total.
I am so bad at keeping track of these things.
That's why I'm using a ledger. Yeah, I don't have any other entries, and I can't think of anything else that it would have been because it was correct since the last time you guys left town, and there's only been like 3 experience gains, so I don't know where the off came from. Maybe you added something twice, but I'm not trying to figure it out. I used to have to do that at work. I would have to like someone would be off $13, and I would have to like work backwards and figure out which transactions they did, and if there was more than one transaction that threw the numbers off, you would have to think because they would all add together. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you got 25.55 after adding that gold. And other than that, everyone else is correct. So now you have got, we're not going to do individual people go into individual things and selling their loot individually. So I'm going to list off items. And after I say them, I want someone to say who has that item. And I want to make sure all the items are accounted for, and then we can figure out how we're selling them. I just want to know who has which item.
Yeah,
so is everyone ready?
I think we're gonna go to the money changer first because they give the best prices, and we're probably gonna take what they give us and stay away from the trading post. But yes, I'm ready.
All right, I've got a silver service set.
I have it.
Is that Toddy or Noe? I'm assuming they're all Toddy.
Toddy.
Okay. I have a alabaster box with unguents.
Me.
I have a fire opal golden necklace.
Pantok.
I have a platinum topaz necklace.
Toddy.
I have a sack of 12 gems worth 100 gold each. You can write that down too.
The sack of gems, is that the one that you listed off specifically to amethyst, to find coral, for red garnet? Yes, I have that too.
I knew it was you. They're 100 gold each. The thing about gems is they all have set values in the book. So if you say amethyst always has the same value. So I'm not trying to obfuscate gem values as long as they're very obvious what they are. They're 100 gold each, so you can mark those down. Those will not go off your sheet because they are equivalent to gold. So if you want to buy something for 1,000 gold, 10 of those gems can be traded equal to 1,000 gold.
So amethyst is 100 each. The pearls are 100 each. Garnets are 100 each.
Yeah, every one of the items on that list is 100 each. It is a sack of 12 gems worth 100 each. I will reveal here because I will just let you know how insane this book is, and I am mitigating it a little bit. You guys are going to get a ton of money and a ton of experience. The numbers in this book of how much treasure is here is just insane off the charts, and this is actually one of the called out examples of where they say you should lower item values down to like 10% of what they actually are. The number of gems in the book is like 29. So that's over
insane.
More than double the number of gems. I was like 12 is enough. That's 1,200 experience. That's a full level at this point. But you do have a black opal. Who has the black opal? That one's worth 1,000. Yeah, black gem. It's a black opal. It's worth 1,000 gold. See, I couldn't fudge that one. It's a black opal. It's in the book. It's got a value of 1,000. I'm not going to change what the gem is. Yeah, those magic. The jewelry items you guys have. I'm not going to reveal their prices right now because you have to do like bargaining. Their prices were like significantly more in the book too. I can tell you guys their total prices. Their total book prices. But I'm not going to reveal you their actual values if you want after the bargaining. But yeah, the amount of like you guys would literally be like level 7 after this, and that's not happening. Maybe if we weren't doing experience to gold leveling, but at that point you don't even need that much gold. So this will be plenty of gold. It's fucking nuts though. Okay, that's all the items. The black opal counted towards gold, towards experience immediately. So those gems were really the bulk of the experience you guys just got. Okay, so there are There are 4 art objects. It's 2 necklaces, the box of unguents, and the silver service set, which must be sold. You can give all the items to one person to negotiate, or you can all go to the shop at once and all put your wares up together as a party. However you want to do it, but I'm not doing multiple interactions for 1 per person. Unless I really don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. If one individual person takes one individual item and sells it successfully on their own, I will award them the full amount of experience for that sale, not allowing to split it with anyone else. If you want to split any gold from anything, all of the people who are splitting it have to be present for that negotiation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you all want to split the gold in some random way, you all need to be there selling the items. But if you wanted one person to sell something and get all the experience for it, that person can go in and negotiate for themselves. I will give one allowance for that.
I like us going in and selling together and splitting it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, Jacina doesn't have any loot, so she needs a little bit to level up. I don't really care how we do it. How is it actually gonna go down? Do we role play? Like, is there a role for negotiations? Do we
Charisma
each
checks.
do it? Okay.
There's gonna be a single charisma check, and it's gonna be a contested check. So your roll doesn't actually matter; it's contested. So you can't be like, "Oh, I got a 2." That will determine the percentage of the value that they offer you for the item. If you decline their offer, you are free to go somewhere else. But there's no guarantee that they will still have that offer for you when you come back.
Okay, what is everyone's charisma?
Toddy +3.
I like the I've only got 1 because Pantok has the stuff, so I like the idea of doing my own charisma check. Can we still split the XP from that?
If you, as an individual, sell an item, you get every single point of experience for it. You can't split it. If more than one person go in and one person negotiates, all of the people in there can split the gold value.
Okay, well
But
then,
each sale will have a single roll, and the experience can only be split amongst those people. So if you want to do more than one check,
so
then
does that mean
the individuals rolling can split it.
if we have Toddy doing the rolls, doing the negotiation, then they'll make 1 roll for each item?
No, you will make 1 roll for every item that you're selling.
Okay, so in that case, we would give everything to Toddy.
No, I'm sorry. You know what? No, that's stupid. It's 1 roll for individual items. I won't go that far to combine them all.
Okay, then I would say then just let Toddy do all of it, because more rolls gives us a chance at getting some good rolls instead of doing all or nothing, and they have the highest bonus. So I would say we give everything to Toddy, we go in with her, she does the negotiation, and then she'll just roll for each item, and then at the end we'll add up the gold, split it, and just split. I would just say split the gold and the XP evenly after we deduct for Elmo.
Yeah, you can determine, once you determine the total amount of gold you get, Elmo, because Elmo's not experienced, he's just taking gold.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've gotten the total amount of gold, Elmo will take a 1/6 of that, and then the rest of it will be split up as experience, and you can do whatever you want with the rest of the gold. But yeah, so for every item, man, I was just trying to get out of doing a bunch. As long as we're not doing negotiation, it really doesn't matter. But at that point, you just want the best charisma character anyway. So there's no reason to try and micromanage it that much. I just don't want, like, Pantok goes in and sells his item and has an interaction. Toddy goes in and does it. Just vendor the items, get them done, get money for them. It shouldn't be a whole role play situation. It should be in the book. It's all, no, fuck that. That's Gary Gygax shit where they're playing for 12 hours a day.
Okay.
We did that
Gygax
once. We had the
moment.
experience.
Gygax moment.
So you go in, unless you have anything special you wanted to do to try to role play and change some values, you are more than welcome to do that. But no one here ever does anything like that with any sort of success. So this is your chance to do anything like that. Does anyone have anything special they would like to do to try and increase the value of any of the items you are selling?
Well,
I want to
since we
perform a little
probably-
dance.
Nope.
Nope.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, do we have an idea? Are we able to identify, look at the items, try and figure out what the most valuable one is? Do we
Sure.
know?
You can spend a little time appraising them if you'd like to.
I would like to do that because we're not going to be back to Hamlet probably for a while. We're probably not going to sell here very often again. Now might be the time to use up one of our times of doing distort value. Oh, except I don't have it memorized for the day.
Well, you probably would have memorized it back at the temple when you were coming back here, knowing that you were going to be selling stuff.
Would have, but didn't. No metagaming.
Your character's got a 20 intelligence, so your player intelligence doesn't have any merit on that.
Another thing that you can think of when long rests are happening is going and looking at your spells and thinking, oh, do I want to change any of these?
But the other option is spend an entire in-game day fucking around and then sell stuff the next day, and I'm not doing that either. So if you want to use distort value, you have the ability to do it. Also, I'm pretty sure it's a ritual anyway. But the question is more of, do you want to fuck up your relationship with the one vendor who's actually giving you good deals? And that is up to you. I'm not saying don't do it.
No, that's a good point.
That is such a good point.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
not
want
do it this
to.
time.
I don't want to mess things up.
Let's wait until we have something that.
But it's not a bad idea to appraise the items before you blindly sell them, because otherwise you have no idea what you're getting when they give you an offer.
It's like when you go to cheat on your SO. You want to make sure it's worth it.
I mean, she could offer you 50 gold for something, and then you sell it, and you find out that was the absolute worst price that you had no idea because you didn't spend any time appraising the items. So it's like an EverQuest. You sell this is Black Pearl thing, sell it. Oh, that was worth 2 chrono. It was a GBS. So it's always worth spending a little bit of time to figure out what you have before you sell it. If you would still like to appraise the items, regardless of distort value.
It wouldn't hurt to appraise the items. So
make 4 investigation checks and give me the results for each in order.
So I have to name which item I'm doing first.
Nope, just roll 4 and tell me 4 numbers in sequential order.
Okay, hold on. Let me do it a different way. I'm gonna hit R. 16.
All right.
11.
Right.
15. 'Did I cut out?
You did cut out, and the die didn't roll again. I heard 15. That was the third
15. Okay. All right. Last one.
Oh, sorry. Did I not say something?
You probably did, but it went dead silent, and it's the type of silent that happens when I cut out. 11.
Oh, 11. Okay. Yeah. Also, this way you don't know which item you're appraising, because like if you roll a 1 on an item, it's like that item is worth this much. So now I can give you the values for the item, and you don't know which one was which roll. And I'm going to give them to you in a random order too. The box of alabaster box filled with unguents seems to be fairly valuable, more for the unguents themselves than the box, although the box is pretty good. You believe that is worth between 100 and 500 gold. The silver service set seems like it is very fine quality, and the set as a whole will probably fetch, depending on the right person, somewhere between 600 and 800 gold. The platinum topaz necklace, the gem itself is significantly valuable, and the platinum setting is very finely detailed and put into it. But just because of the quality of it combined with the gem, you think there's a range probably somewhere. It could be 1,000 or it could be up to 2,500. So there's a pretty big range there of what the values possibly could be, but definitely at least 1,000. Remember, these are objective values, so vendors usually buy things back at less than their objective values. And the fire opal necklace, a single fire opal on its own is worth 1,000 gold. You know that. And there's 6 of them in this necklace, set in a very, very nice. It's like one of those. What do you call it? It's like one of those thick necklaces where it's like a banglet or whatever. And you think this could be anywhere at least 6,000 up to probably 7,000 for this fire opal necklace that was hidden in the trapdoor. And those are your perceived value ranges for those items. I hope someone was writing them down.
I was.
All right, and you are now free to go interact with the merchant if you have anything special you want to say or offer, and if you don't, then I will have you roll a persuasion check for each item, contested by her insight check, and then I will give you an offer.
All right, you guys ready to do this?
Barely. Let's go.
And for this one, I will let you pick each item as you go and determine whether or not you want to sell it after I give you the price. This is an offer, not a fixed price.
Okay, I guess let's go in order. Let's present the unguents first.
All right. She
The
looks at
box
them.
unguents?
Yeah, the box of unguents. She looks at it and says, this is a very nice box, and these unguents seem to be in pretty good quality. Make me an offer, and roll your persuasion check.
Okay, I got a 17 persuasion, and I was going to pick middle of the road, 250.
Okay. She says, 250. That's definitely pretty good quality. Some of these I can tell have been used and they're not completely full. I could do 100 gold for this whole set.
Stop it.
Ooh, 150.
Come on, you can do more than that. 150.
Yes.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Rip.
God damn it, I cut out again. All I heard was my voice and then nothing.
Persuasion check at disadvantage.
11.
She looks at you sternly and says, we're not haggling here. I made an offer for that item. I mean, if you want to go back and forth, the trading post is across the road. She is not happy that you have tried to haggle with her, and if you attempt to do anything like that further, she will kick you out of the shop.
Rip. Fly high.
She says, "So you want $100 for it?"
Who doesn't want $100?
Well, guys, what do you think? 100?
I don't think we're going to get anything better for anything at the trading post. I do not trust that guy. And I'm bad at haggling.
Okay. How about 100?
She says, "That sounds like a good idea. It's almost like I came up with it myself." You got anything else before I start pulling out the cash? Anything else to sell?
We do. We have a few more things. Take a look at this fine silver service set.
Woo!
Oh, these are very good quality. I can tell the craftsmanship is great. They do look a bit used. And is that a wine stain in there? That can be cleaned up. Let's see. What are you thinking for this one? I will say that is I appreciate you giving me the middle of the road offer before. I have a fixed number that she's going to offer you based on whether you succeed. So that's more role play when she asks you what you're offering. This is your character negotiating.
Let's try the middle of the road again. 700.
Oh, sorry. So that's my point. Is nothing you say will have any effect on the actual outcome. You're going to roll. She's going to give you an offer, and then you can base that against your own assessment of the item to determine whether you want to accept it.
Okay. All right. So I roll what, persuasion?
Yep.
Six.
She says, well, I mean, this wine stain, she reaches into it, she licks her finger and reaches into it, wipes the wine stain off, and she says, yeah, that'll buff out. She says, I can do 600 for that, probably. Silver alone is probably worth at least 400, so the best I can do is 600.
Probably a fair deal. Let's go through the rest of the list, and then I'll talk to my friends and make sure we want to sell everything or not. Okay.
Sure, no problem. I'll make you offers for everything, and you can determine which items you want to sell and or not sell. That's totally fine. What else you got?
Next, take a look at this lovely platinum chain with topaz inset. It can be yours for the low price of 10.
She says, that is a very big topaz, and the clarity on this. She pulls out one of her little spyglass things and looks through it, and she goes, I mean, I could probably sell this, but it's a bit of an investment. How about 1,200?
Ooh. I'd take 1,200 any time of the day.
Well, I'll talk to my friends about that before we finalize it. But we have one last item. Save the best for last. This stunning necklace with 6 fire opals in it.
Trying to think if I can give you anything special. Oh, did you roll that? Good.
God damn it. 6.
She says, oh my, this one is very, very, where did you get this? She asks you.
That's for me to know.
And me to find out, right? That's how that works? She says, no, well, I mean, the filigree is very intricate, and these gems are obviously very large and high quality, but I have a feeling items. Go ahead.
Fine. I will let you know. You know how there's been some bandits that have been attacking and that have been causing problems. Well, we cleared out the bandit nest, and that's where we got this from. So it's kind of like a favor to the town almost.
She says, oh, so really it's reclaimed stolen goods?
And this is why I don't roll charisma characters.
That seems like it could. I mean, I was already kind of thinking that, like, any big ticket items like this, without knowing where they're from, and I mean, I know where this is from directly, but like, who knows who this belonged to and what kind of power they had for something this, like, I'll level with you. These gems are pretty expensive just on their own. This is a very, very pricey item, but it also is going to be very difficult to sell for that price, and I don't exactly have a whole lot of cash on me, so I can probably do 2,500 for it in gold, cash, or gems. I'll give you gems if you'll take. I'll give you 3,000 if you'll take gems, because I've got more of those.
Gems.
And she says, but that's the best I can do for something like this, which, I mean, it's the other stuff I can probably hawk on the black market or whatever pretty easily, but something like this is going to be hard to get under the radar. So that, especially knowing where it's from. So yeah, 30 gems of 100 gold value, or I can give you some more expensive ones. I've got a couple on hand if you want to sell it, of course, but that's my offer.
So I should have kept my mouth shut about where it came from. Damn it.
That didn't affect what she was saying. It just confirmed her suspicions. All right, so you've got your values for those items. You can discuss with your party and just determine which ones you would like to sell or not sell. You can step outside and discuss that, and if you leave, those prices may or may not remain valid.
All right, let's step out. Speak.
Sorry, I was AFK. I got back. I just got back. No one was talking to me, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if fire opals are worth 1,000 each, I feel like maybe we can get a better deal on the fire opal necklace somewhere else. But
What'd she offer for the fire opal necklace?
2,500, and fire opals are 1,000 each. So
She said
the
she would give you
necklace-
3,000 in gems if you're willing to take gems instead of gold.
Oh, that must have been part of the part that cut out
And there's 6 fire opals.
in the necklace. Yeah.
So in theory, it's even with just the gems, it would be worth 6,000.
Yeah, I feel like that's one that we should maybe hold on to for a bigger marketplace type thing, like when we go to the next town type thing.
What was
Yeah,
your
she-
charisma roll?
Shit.
Yeah, I would because we don't have an immediate need for the money, and because it's worth so much, I think it would be worth waiting, especially because just from the other items, we should have enough XP, gold XP, for us all to level up. So it literally wouldn't do anything, and if we wait, then we'll get more.
Yeah. So sell the other 3 and hold on to the fire opal necklace.
I think so. What do you think, Kara?
I approve Kara's approval.
Quick question. You said wait and sell it later. What's your plan on selling it later? Where are you planning on selling it? Are you going to go to like a major city or something?
That was what I was thinking.
I mean, there is the city Verbobank north of here, which is like a 4-day travel. So if you want to spend some downtime and go there and try and sell it on the markets, that's possible. But there's no other people in the city other than the trading post or her who will buy something like that. Probably.
That's what I was saying, is hold on to it until we go to a bigger place.
Yeah, because we're probably gonna level up from that XP and then go ahead and use our downtime so that we all level up to 4 and Noe levels up to 2, I think? Or do they get it for 3?
They're probably going to
I'm
get
ready
3.
to level to 2. I should hit 3 after this.
That's going to be extra downtime though for leveling up. While Noe's leveling, some of you could go to the city and try and sell it.
Yeah, I mean, depends on where what our masters say, where we decide to go next.
I'll go ahead and tell you now, just because you're going to find out in a bunch of exposition. There is no city or anything in the book that you're going to go to that is going to have a vendor that will be able to sell you something. There is a possibility the other city has something, but after I describe it to you, you'll probably. I mean, you hold off on it. She tells you, you know what, the 3,000. That offer is on the table. Come back and give it to me if you. I'm willing to take that off your hands for 3,000 anytime. That one's a fixed deal. So if you think you might have better odds somewhere else, you can take it there. The reason, because you weren't paying attention as I was describing it. She said she looked at it suspiciously and then asked where it was from, and Zach told her the truth, that you guys got it from the bandits down in the moat house. And she said that sort of untraceable big ticket item is kind of hard to sell. So if she buys it from you, it'd be like a pawn shop buying something they can't resell. So they were concerned with being able to resell it. The only reason I said that is she says the item is worth more than that. Definitely worth more than that. But the cost of her trying to sell it is gonna add on to that too. So they're definitely, if you can find somewhere to sell it, you're more than welcome to do that, or come back here. The offer's on the table. I only say that because I want you guys to get to the exposition part, and then you can decide for yourself based on that. If you decide to sell it, come back here and sell it, you can. If not, then you can figure something else out.
Can we just pop the 6 fire opals out, count them towards our total gem cost, and get the XP from that?
No, you cannot count it towards your total gem cost. But if you did want to pop the fire opals out, it would significantly devalue the art piece itself, so it would lose a whole lot of value. But then you would have 6 fire opals worth 1,000 gold each. So
which is worth a lot more than what she's given us now.
you would not get any experience for that, though.
Oh, I feel like I should get a lot of experience for that idea.
Instead of selling the item for money, you're basically uncrafting it for money. So you're welcome to do that, and then you will have a hunk of useless gold and 6 fire opals and no experience.
Yes, but if those fire opals had come not in necklace form, we would have gotten experience for them.
Correct, but they did not. They came as an art piece, which just so happened to be in the shape of a necklace with gems. Fucking Gygax.
Hold on a second. Pry. Nick, look! Oh my goodness! Look, he just found these 6 fire opals. That's so much experience for us.
So, I think my characters are aware of this. So if not, let me know. But I think from earlier conversations that that the 2 closest cities, which I think are in opposite directions, are Verbobonk and Nulb. And Nulb is a sketchy place full of scoundrels, and Verbobonk is more of a normal city where we might have a shot at selling the necklace, but Nulb, it's more sketchy.
I am not 100% sure what information I've given you about Nulb, and I don't know how much you've been Googling and looking stuff up, or where you would have gotten that information. So it's possible that I gave you that information. That's why I don't like looking at anything.
I don't think I'm looking I don't recall looking. I as much as possible, I'm trying to not look stuff up. But I am definitely listening to lore information that we're given.
Yeah.
And so I recall that Nulb is not a super friendly place.
If you say that information, I will take it at your word that I said that at some point and confirm that yes, Nulb is a slum town basically. So probably not the best place to go.
I know
lauding around jewelry.
I know we talked about nearby towns, and I know that we had a mini map that we were able to see, and I'm pretty sure we got the. I don't remember anything about Verbobonk, and I seem to remember that Nulb is a sketchy place, but I don't remember any specific details. So I'm pretty sure you gave us that info.
I probably did. I don't know at what point, but we've been playing this for over a year now. Yay! So probably, and that is totally fine information. So yes, you can either go to Nulb. Verbobonk is a major city that is not included in any of these materials. It is just city, and I'm sure there's some module where you do it like Waterdeep. It would be like going to Waterdeep. Think of it like that. Waterdeep is not a thing in this module, but it is a city that exists, and you can go there. So if you go to Verbobonk, it will be a 3-day trip up and 3-day trip back, plus or minus with your horses. And you can go there without a map, without a list of places to go, and you can say, we are going there to try to sell this item. I will have you make a couple of rolls and determine how much money you're able to get for it, or if any.
Okay.
So that will be how that goes if you want to make a special trip, which fire opals 1,000 gold, there's 6 of them. The item itself has a value of greater than 6,000 gold because jewelry items have a value of their combined materials plus extra for being an art object. So yes, she is definitely lowballing you because it would cost her a bunch of money and resources to try and sell that thing safely. So if you want to do that risk yourself and take it to Verbobonk and try to sell it, or even Greyhawk. Greyhawk's like a 3-week travel. If you guys want to take a 3-week downtime, you're more than welcome to go to travel to Greyhawk. We'll roll a bunch of random encounters, see what you engage on the way. That's how Dungeons and Dragons works. That would be amazing, honestly. But I don't think we're wanting to do that.
Okay. So if we sold it in Verbobonk that way, would we get XP for it?
I will say yes. You have collected it and saved it as treasure. So once you have sold it, you will get XP for it. I may or may not stop doing the experience for gold thing just because you guys have gotten a lot of experience from it, which is great. But going forward, there's so much more treasure, and having to figure this out every single time is going to end up just being bad for all of us. It's going to be like, you get this item. Oh, crap. I can either give you the 10,000 gold that it says it's worth, or I can cut it down so you guys don't level to level 15 instantly. But I'll have a couple of, because we're going to play your game, I'll have months to make that decision. So we'll see.
What if
But yes, for this item, yes, if you sell it, I will give you the experience value once you sold it.
maybe just gold and gems should gain XP, and art
Maybe.
objects are only worth money?
Well, the other thing is if this was first edition, all of these items would give you experience, and I think it's when you get back to town once you've reclaimed them. But the other thing is, in that adventure, you also need like hundreds of thousands of experience to level. So
Yeah.
you would get like the full amount of the value of these items. By the way, is something like 30,000 gold for everything combined. Probably more. I don't know because the gems are 30,000 gold. It's probably like 70,000 gold. And I almost considered giving you guys that much, but then I was like, no, you guys would all level to 7 instantly. So I had to reduce them because we're doing XP to gold. But I would love to give you guys a necklace that's worth 30,000 gold on its own, but I can't because of the experience thing. So I might rethink that. I might reconsider how I'm doing it. For now,
Okay.
what you have is what you have. Whatever you sell from this treasure stash is worth that value. But I hate having to micromanage. Like you should totally be able to pop out the 6 gems and then say I have six gems worth of cash and get that experience. But then it's like, okay, why didn't I just give you 6 gems in the first place? So, or it could have been an art object that didn't have gems in it, but the stupid book told me they're fire opals because the guy is a priest of fire or whatever. That's significant, by the way.
It's like when you're watching a show and somebody's like,
Oh,
and they stolen a bunch of artwork, and they're like, "Well, actually, if we just like break this apart here, it's worth more by itself." And you're like, "No, but that's a famous painting, blah 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 blah. Why would you do that?" And then here I'm like, "Well, let's just pop these fire opals out."
That is the idea. Like if you have a gold necklace or something like that, the value isn't that it's a pound of gold; it's that it has the intricate artistic value. But when the gems themselves have a value, why not just pop them out? Or why even bother haggling in the first place? Because gems have an intrinsic value. So I don't know. It's an evolving system because no one has ever written an actual comprehensive, useful system. So it's a mishmash of things I'm trying out. And this entire campaign was a whole bunch of experiments of varying success and failure, which we'll use going forward and reassess. But for now, it's a 6,000 plus gold necklace. And you can get either 3,000 for it now, or I will let you journey to Ribobonk and make another attempt, which will not be multiple sessions. It will be a 5-minute interval during downtime.
okay. So I think that's a bunch of really good reasons to hang on to the necklace for now. That way we have time to consider that. And we'll just sell the other stuff at the level that we were at and split up the XP, and then we'll be ready for downtime. I mean, after we
Works
talk
for
to our
me.
masters.
Okay, so is that the decision then?
Yes?
Yep. Yep. Oh my god. This is insane.
Okay, then you sell the 3 items for a total of 1,900 gold. Dividing that by 6 is 316 gold that Elmo gets. For a total of
and by waiting, we get more gold out of it because we don't have to split it with Elmo.
he's not going to immediately notice that you didn't sell the necklace. But actually, since he was sitting here watching you guys, he will say, "Oh, once you've sold that necklace, let me know, and I'm not going to push you for my cut right now, but whatever you end up getting for it, just let me know. I'll expect at least 500 gold because of the 3,000, a 6th is 500. So he's gonna give you an IOU of 500 gold.
Receipts.
He's not gonna ask what you sold it for. He's expecting at least 500 gold, and because he'd be fine with selling it now, but he respects you if you want to go get more for it. 500 gold, what he wants. You can either pay that to him now out of your gold, post treasure split, or once you've sold that, then the split. How about that? You gave him 500 gold now post treasure split. But then you get full experience for it.
Yeah, let's do that, and then that way it's less fucking around later.
Yeah.
So we'll pay him 500 gold. And then whatever we get when we sell it, we keep, but we still get the XP.
So yeah, so someone, I don't know, I don't want to determine how you guys do it. Does someone have 500 gold on them that they can just minus real quick? Because we can split up gold later. Or do you want me to just take it from this total? Let's just take it from this total. How are you splitting this experience? It's 1,584 experience.
Does how much is that if we evenly split it?
317.
That will level all of us, so I would suggest just go ahead and split it evenly.
Sounds good to me.
Unless you want to give each person exactly what they need to level up and then pile all the extra onto someone just for fucks. What does Kara get at level 5?
Good question. I need to check again.
Uncanny dodge. Oh, a sneak attack bonus.
Shit.
Proficiency increase. Pantok and Toddy get level 3 spells. Oh, and Justina. The casters get a whole new set of spells, though. What do you guys think? Pick one person to super level. I feel like it would be unfair for it to be me.
You don't have to feel bad about it. I mean, if you have a valid reason to super level yourself, then I'd say go for it. All I'm really getting is cool sneak attack bonus when I level to 5.
We could pile it on Toddy, and then we'll have one wizard. I would feel bad arguing for it to be me, especially since I'm running 2 characters and I'm fairly good at arguing. So we could give it to Toddy, and then they would get 5th level faster.
It won't be.
And then we'll have one wizard with a whole extra tier of spells. What spells would you take, Toddy? 3rd level spells that are badass are Counterspell, Dispel Magic, Fireball, Fly, Hypnotic Pattern, Leomund's Tiny Hut, Major Image.
I don't know. It might make sense to have Pantok do it though, because you tend to take more offensive and spells for situational things, and half of mine are just illusion stuff.
When you level, you add 2 new spells to your spellbook, right?
Yes, wizards get 2 new spells.
So, I would probably take 2 from Counterspell, Fireball, and Fly. I'm not sure which 2. But, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I think that whether it's me or you, that's what we should do. So the question is,
Yes.
which one of us should get that?
Roll the dice. So, are you guys leaving this vote to me because I suck at deciding?
Yes, you decide which wizard is going to hit level 5 first.
God, why does it always have to be me? Who decide
You can roll,
between 50-50s?
You can roll a dice if you want.
50-50s are never my specialty. Trust
What
me, I
level?
play enough fucking Genshin Impact to know that.
What level are you trying to get Noe to? Just 3?
That would be another option. Dump it onto Noe, and then Noe would be the same level as all of us.
Noe could not get level 4 with the sale of the items.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could potentially split the gems and coins from earlier, but I'm not going to allow that since you do that first when you get back to town, and then you sell these treasures. So you made that decision to split it evenly before.
Wait, who said they would get Fly? At level 5?
Either Pantok or I are gonna take it.
Okay,
I'm sure.
Pantok. If you're the one getting Fly, you get it. I want to fly. I want Fly. I want Fly. That's a good spell. But I'm not a I'm a rogue. I can't do that. But I want fly casted onto me sometime because it's fun.
With fly though, we'd have to lose either fireball or counter spell. We can't have all three.
Shit.
You also will not be getting level 5 anytime soon. You'll just be a little bit closer to it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Pantalk will be at about 4,000 experience. Level 5 is 6,500 experience. So you need another 1,500 experience, even if you dump all the experience onto him.
Yeah.
Shit.
And you'll have to pretty much funnel all the experience into him for the next several encounters to get that
Well,
treasure.
I mean, yeah, it's basically if we're gonna dump it, we do it now, because yeah, I mean he would hit level earlier, and then I guess we go back to town just to have downtime for him to level up, or we wait longer in the dungeon and then everyone levels up. Let's just split it. Let's just split it evenly.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a cool plan. We're too undecided. So
Noe would probably be the best if you were going to do some cheesy stuff like that, because they would only be a 500 experience away from level 4, but they are also pretty close to level 4 anyway. So it's like everyone else will slowly go towards level 5. Noe will eventually get level 4. So that's 3 is good enough, I think. So
yeah, Noe would just be one level below us. And we could always, the next time we go to a town and sell stuff, we might have the opportunity to just add that extra 500. So
yeah. So okay, with an even split, everyone gains 317, and we'll do one final experience total tally, and then we can go do exposition stuff. Plus, you still have the experience from the if you sold that thing for 3,000, you could definitely get someone up to level 5.
Man.
And Noe. Or Noe.
How much experience did you say again?
317 per person.
Fuck yeah.
And I will go through in order, and I'm going to start with Kara because they just confirmed and said the amount. Kara, what is your XP total?
2,872.
No. What did you have before that? Did you not update it when I told you before?
2,555. Is that what you said?
I had you at 2,619 from before. So I guess and maybe I screwed some up on my sheet, or I'll check the video later. Mark, make sure your experience is 2936, and then we're good. I don't think I'm screwing anything up on my thing. I'll spend the next couple of months building a database that I can use to track XP.
Oh.
I'm sure
There's
website
a way
exists.
to do it with ChatGPT.
Oh God, yeah. There's probably a website that exists for transactional tracking of experience. I'll look something up and use that. This is just I was like, a spreadsheet will be easy. A year later, and it's a little bit of a mess, adding characters and stuff. So what's your XP, Kara?
I am flatlining. I'm going into cardiac arrest about this. Can you say the number that I should have been at again, because I mistyped it in the calculator?
2936.
2936. Fuck. Okay, that's 3,253.
No, that is your current experience, including the increase.
Yeah. Wait.
Your experience currently is 29.
Okay, gotcha.
36. Pentalk experience
2924.
I've got 2988.
Was he not at 2607?
Nope, he was at 2671.
Dude,
I don't know. I'm not changing anything on my sheet except for a single cell that I'm adding that automatically calculates into it.
It's the strangest thing, because Jake's and my numbers almost always seem to match.
We've always had matching numbers so far.
I thought
Until
I
tonight.
use
I thought-
formulas.
I thought we did Pantalk 2607 and Justina 2647.
Let me do a whole bunch of Control Z's and see if I get to those numbers.
Which made them different by 40, and that's how much ahead Justina should be.
And say I throw everything of mine into an event log, and then I just use a formula to get my experience. Now, I don't pull the formula from the event log, so there's always a chance of transcribing it wrong, but I just type it in the formula bar.
This is definitely teaching me some advice on how I'm going to do experience and gold logging for my campaign.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I'm definitely getting a tool. I'll let you know if I find a useful tool because this is a pain in the ass. I have to scroll down to look at the number and then scroll back up. What did you say your number was again? Because I did Control Z until it said the number that you matched.
2607 and 2647 was the totals that you had for Justina and Pantalk.
Okay, I'm only doing Pantalk right now. So what did you have? What did you have as Pantalk's total after everything?
2607 before I added the 317.
Okay, after everything.
20.
What do you have?
2964.
Okay, now give me the previous number.
2647. Oh yeah, no. Ugh. Okay. Hold on.
I that's why I just you're offering me numbers I'm not asking for because I'm trying to do specific math. So start with the number you had.
I did both of my characters already. So
yeah,
okay. Just Pantalk.
Pantalk previous amount before the selling these items
is currently 2924. Previously 2607.
Okay, I have 2924. That's what mine says. You never said that number. You were saying something. You were saying 2960 something. Were you saying Justina's number?
I think so.
Justina is 2964. Were you just transposing the two characters?
Probably because
okay.
I'm using a Google calculator and I just look at what my last calculation was.
Okay, that's why I was trying to do very specifically one character at a time. What is Justina's current experience after everything? Justina.
2964.
That is correct. What is Pantalk's current experience after everything?
2924.
Thank you. This is why I have the ledger, because the ledger is usually not wrong. What is Toddy's experience after everything?
If you had said it was 2924, I would have said, oh, yep, just the wrong character. But you said a totally different number, and that's when I was confused.
I don't even remember what number I said, but yeah, that's what it was.
17?
I think that was the number before, because I went, okay, what was it before we added that amount, trying to troubleshoot what was wrong. But it was just that you gave me the other. Like I say, if you said 2964 and I glanced over to look at Justina, I would have gone, oh, you just gave me the wrong character. So
it's okay. I'm going to go back and watch all 233 hours and note down all of the XPs that were given and create a totally corrected ledger and do a full audit.
I can send you my ledger if you want.
No, I'm not doing any of that. But
terrifying.
But I am going to. I do have ideas on how I'm going to do my XP ledger, and I'm definitely not just going. First of all, I'm going to track it, and second of all, I'm not just going to track how much you currently have. I'm going to have one row per encounter, and it will have the amount added for each person, and one column for each player, and then there will be a running total.
You mean like this?
Show me.
It's in Greyhawk Discord.
Okay. Greyhawk.
Holy shit!
And that's
why? How is that not working? Oh,
it does work. It's never been me wrong. It's always been someone else misreading something.
Oh.
Yours is a lot nicer than mine, but here's mine.
I was gonna do it per encounter.
So this is per encounter. And the start is not per encounter because I had it split by the enemies, but later on it does become per encounter. And oh yeah, see that's the gold one though. You're doing gold and experience. Ugh. What it does is you type in. I was so proud of this when I did it, and it is still really cool. You type in the experience, and then you copy and paste the formula cells but below the character. For every character who has a cell filled in, it divides the amount of spirit experience by that amount and updates every character's cell to be that amount. So if I type in 100 experience and I copy and paste the cell under 3 characters, it'll divide 100 by 3 and make all those 3 characters that number, and everyone else is 0. So that makes it easy to say, instead of having to manually do the math every time, divided by how many and add it to the characters, it just automatically does all that. Which has worked great so far until you add another character. And then do you see how there's all those lines that have like only one cell that's filled? I have to go in and manually do it. So it works really well, but I wouldn't recommend it just because it's tedious.
Okay, I have a question, because that's basically what I was planning on doing. If you could go back and start over, would you do it for the entire encounter, even if it was mixed enemies?
Yes, and that actually is pretty much what I started doing. It's just that most of the encounters are single enemies.
Sometimes encounters have like number bonuses and stuff. Like if you have.
So the very last one that you guys did, I just put Lareth Battle XP because all of those guys were different amount. So the very beginning, I didn't even remember that I did that at the start. The very beginning, I was like, I'm going to track every single enemy you guys defeat, their experience values, and who gets stuff. And then at some point, I was just like, okay, this encounter gave you this much. So yes, that is how I would do it. I would do it per encounter.
Okay.
But I didn't want to forget and be like, why did you guys get 500 experience? I wanted to know what that 500 experience breakdown was and what creatures they were. But I got lazy.
Okay.
I'm going to research and find an online tool that keeps track of all this, because it shouldn't be that hard. You should be able to have an online ledger that you can make entries for, and I don't know. We'll see.
Your sheet looks pretty good. I don't know what the issue is. Like you said, for the most part, you've been correcting other people.
It's just a pain to manage. So like when you guys get another party member, all the other cells need to be like readjusted to include that additional column, and everything has to shift to the side. So it's a pain to manage. The accuracy is great. The management's a pain. So I'm probably but I've got all this information. So I have all of this stuff and I can rebuild it in any system I want. But yeah, so no, it's definitely a good way to track it though. I would recommend this over like just flat numbers. Because if you're just tracking flat numbers, you don't remember if you added something twice or anything like that. You should never add numbers directly. You should always add entries which modify the number.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But anyway, so I believe everyone's experience was good. Did we say? Oh, sorry. Did we get Toddy's experience?
No, we were just about to.
Okay. Toddy's experience. Even though I just technically sent it all.
2907.
All right, and Noe.
1107.
All right. So after this session, everyone will be able to take downtime to level up to 4, and Noe will be able to level up to 3. You were level 1, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me pull up my downtime leveling rules real quick. Which, by the way, thank God you're not doing downtime leveling. I think it's a great idea. I think it's awesome, and I think it makes everything feel more realistic and makes downtime significant. But it's such a pain in the ass to manage. Let's see. Downtime leveling. What did I say? Level 2 to 4 attained is all the same. It's 6 days or 3 days with a mentor. So you're all going to be the same amount of time. But Noe has to level twice. Noe actually needs 3 days of downtime. So while Noe's on their downtime, some other of you could go up to the city to sell the item and then come back. It's probably about a day and a half travel, maybe 2 days. So
with a horse?
With the horses, yeah. So we'll talk about that details later, but you are going to have an extra 3 days where it's just Noe training. So you guys probably aren't going to want to go adventuring in that time.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that is all the selling and experience done, I believe. Does that sound right?
Yup. Wow, that took way too long.
Yeah, that took about as long as I expected. You have your mentors. You have Black Jay, Jaru, and Burn and Rufus. Would everyone like to split up and go different places? Would you all like to go to the same place? How would you like to do this? How would you like to approach your mentors and giving them this information?
I think we split up and do it in the order that you just listed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kara is going to go to Black Jay on their own because you're going to want to be training soon, so you're going to want to talk to them anyway. And then Jacina is going to Jeru alone, and everyone else is going to the tower. Where's Noe going? Who are they going with?
I don't know. Is there a paladin trainer in town?
You have not met any paladins here. I will suggest, for the sake of brevity, that there is a Temple of Saint Cuthbert, and there is also Rufus, who is a very good martial weapons master.
And I would probably be able to find somebody to train there.
At the church,
Yes.
you could possibly find someone to train at the church. That's the one place we haven't really explored very much. So,
Okay, I'm gonna go check that place out then.
okay. So Noe's going to go to the church and just kind of chill out and talk about stuff because this wasn't really Noe's quest. They just went with you guys, so they get back and they're like, "All right, I'm going to go check out this church or whatever. I need to do some training." Because the rest of you are going to go complete your quest. So, what order do you want to say? Black Jay first, and then Jeru.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you go into Black Jay's house. You can
Knock,
discuss
knock.
anything you would like to with them. Keep in mind they were not the original one who sent you on any sort of quests. You discussed what you were doing with them, and they encouraged it, but they don't really have any. That's not their thing. They're just they would love to hear about your accomplishments, but they are not the ones who are giving you any sort of quests. However,
So
you will need to
if you want,
downtime with them.
Kara could accompany either Jacina or the wizards and talk to the people who know more about the temple if you want.
Yes. I do want to talk to him about when it comes to specifics, that whole ogre Oni thing,
Oh yeah.
and how I borderline got cursed, but not literally. But I tell him that I have a very suspicious feeling that these are tied to my phantom death powers. I can't describe them in any other way. Obviously, that's not how you specifically describe them, but you know.
He says, yeah, that's definitely very interesting. I mean, you started manifesting these powers and then that happens. That's kind of a very unique coincidence." He says, "I don't really have a whole lot of experience in the dark arts or demons or devils or anything like that. And I mean, I wouldn't say whether you're cursed or not, but us rogues, we have to take what abilities we get and utilize them to the best of our situation. So if that happened to you and you feel comfortable with it, then I'm not sure where else you would go. I mean, if you want to exercise yourself, you could go to the church. But if you want to support that power within yourself, then you probably want to look for some sort of entity or person with more knowledge of it than me. He says, I can teach you about roguey stuff, but I don't know much about those types of things.
Can you tell me if you know anybody who would know more about this stuff? I think you did last time, but it kind of has escaped my mind, unfortunately.
He says, I don't remember what I told you before, but I don't really have any connections to anything like that. I'm just an ex-army intelligence guy who knows the ropes of sneakiness and assassination. I don't deal with the dark arts. Poison making's about as far as I go into that sort of stuff, and I've already given you everything I know about that.
Yeah, I understand.
He says, yeah, but I mean, you're more than welcome to come back here and I'll continue to give you rogue training, but you're on your own for that sort of stuff that you're dealing with.
Kara wants to ask him if there's anything more advanced that he could teach him when it comes to normal rogue shit.
He says, "Oh, definitely, I
besides-
could. I've got a lot to teach you. I mean, keep coming back here once you've gotten more experience, and whenever you're ready to advance to the next level, and I can definitely teach you up. That side stuff isn't going to really affect anything. It's not like you're a warlock multi-class. It's just your subclass."
I get you. I get you now. Well, I haven't quite trying not to hold on. This is out of character. I'm trying not to be meta about this.
You don't have to
but
do anything special to get mentored. Mentoring is just a little thing to make it so you guys don't have to spend 6 days of downtime. You're a rogue and he's a
Yes.
rogue, so if you go to him, will cut the time in half. You don't have to do anything special
Exactly.
because of the subclass you chose. If you want to, and if you want to go with that arc, and you're able to get information and find something that can fit with that, then you're more than welcome to do that roleplay wise. But that has nothing to do with him as your mentor. Mentor is just a mechanic.
Understandable. Have a great day.
He says, "See you soon."
Kara leaves feeling a little bit better about things and wants to go out and get that fucking XP.
Where are you going?
But I mean that metaphorically. Kara wants to meet up with his other party member.
All right,
I
you
guess-
have Justina went to Jeru, and the other ones went to the tower.
I'm gonna go to the tower. Tee.
You catch up, and they are just approaching the door conveniently. Noe, being a
Hello.
side character, you see a very poorly crafted robot-looking NPC standing at the door, and they greet you, and they say,
What?
"Hi, what can I help you with?"
Hi, yes, I was wondering if you have any people who are paladins that would train paladins.
"Oh, we don't have any paladins here, but I'm sure the head cleric, could probably give you some basic training if you're looking to get religious divine training. We're more than happy to help anyone of any faith. Who do you worship?"
Prolonged silence.
Or, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I know paladins don't always worship gods; they just do oaths or whatever. So
I don't remember if I picked one, and if I put it down on my sheet, I don't remember what I think I made a joke and then never actually picked anything.
he says, "Well, Saint Cuthbert is pretty welcoming. He's a lawful good god, but his priests run the gamut of lawful and good. So as long as you're not evil or chaotic in any way, he's more than happy to assist you."
And you said that there was a martial trainer somewhere else in town, right?
Yes, Burn is the guy that you.
It was a joke because you said as long as you're not evil or chaotic. So
Oh,
I was
yeah.
asking where the martial trainer was. No, I would appreciate some training then. Yeah, sure.
He says, "Sure. Whenever you're ready, just let us know, and of course, we'll charge you a nominal fee for the expedited training, as is customary. But I'm sure a paladin of your sort can afford such a thing."
Of course. And I'm definitely not evil or chaotic. Oh wait, this is not Toddy.
He says, "I'm sorry, not a fee. It's a tithe, of course. You'll pay your tithes to enter the church, and we'll train you for free."
Sounds great.
And are you doing that now, or are you going to rejoin your party and find out what's going on, or are you just going to start your training?
I'll rejoin the party and find out what's going on, and I'll come back.
Okay. Are you
When
going to
I'm ready
Jeru
for
or to the tower?
Jeru is which one? The druid?
Yeah.
Now I'll head back to the tower, meet
Okay.
up there with everybody.
You waddle there and meet up just as the rest of the party is climbing up to the tower. Pantalk and Toddy have been dragging their feet this whole time. Justina, you go to meet Jeru. He welcomes you in and asks what news you have for him.
Justina says, "Ah, Jaru, you wouldn't believe it. We found a secret door in the moat house, and it led down to servants of elemental evil. we slayed their leader, who was a priest of elemental fire, and took his magic gear off of him. It seems like the Temple of Elemental Evil is resurging after all. Unfortunately, his lieutenant slayed him and then himself before we were able to get any information as to the temple or where it might be located.
He says, he looks solemnly at you as you deliver the news to him, and he shakes your head as you at every twist and turn, and he says, I wrote down here that he was hoping the rumors were true. I meant the opposite. He was hoping
exposed. He's the imposter.
he was hoping the rumors weren't true about the elemental evil resurging. But of course, he feared the worst, knowing the history of this place. He says, with these findings, it's almost certain that the forces of the temple are growing once more. There's no way this is a standalone situation, and if there's a priest of claiming allegiance to the Temple of Elemental Evil, then there's no doubt that the temple is on the rise again, and it's only a matter of time before they begin a new reign of terror. He tells you that he is not very well versed in all of that. He mostly just watches over the town as a shepherd. But if you bring this information to Burn, he might be able to give you advice on what to do next. Because he's kind of the one he's the smart guy, and he's the kind of the one who calls the shots on things like this.
Wait, did you say Burn?
Yeah, go to Burn.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that I was the one that was role playing here.
Yeah, go to Burn.
Okay, TLDR, go to Burn. Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's really bad. Okay, now go to the quest giver to complete your quest. Thanks for letting me know.
Okay, thank you. I'll be back for my training soon. Bye bye, love. And then I blow him a kiss and tootle out the
Oh
door.
my god.
You and all of the other party members arrive just as Toddy and Pantark are walking up the steps to Burn's tower, and you approach the tower together as a party.
Friendship is magic.
And
That's how we should have beaten Lareth, is with the power of friendship.
Exactly.
but in the English translation, it's Larry's. Pantok knocks on the door.
The door opens, and a Burns Badger answers it and recognizes you and invites you in and tells you that he will fetch the master from upstairs. And please have a seat.
Okay, and Pantok and Justina have a seat. And is there any pitchers of water or wine or any refreshments?
There is nothing on the table at the moment, as they were likely not expecting guests.
Rip.
After a few moments, walking down the stairs is Burn, who sees all of you and the new party member Noe, and welcomes you and says, welcome back. I'm glad that you've all made it here in one piece. And he says, what news do you bring from the moat house? I hope it's good news.
Rip.
Justina says, no, it's terrible. We found a secret passage under the moat house, and we found monsters and soldiers of elemental evil, including a leader named Lareth, who identified himself as the priest of fire and had strong, powerful magics. Unfortunately, we're unable to gain much information from him after we defeated him when he was slain by his lieutenant, who then took his own life. We recovered some magic items he was carrying, as well as a significant-looking necklace with fire opals.
He says, by the way, I like how you're sticking to the story that the lieutenant killed himself.
Did we? I didn't remember.
Oh yeah, you guys Caesared him. Remember, he killed the guy, and then he didn't defend himself, but you guys went up and like stabbed the crap out of him.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. He dropped his weapon, and I couldn't remember for sure how he went down, but I felt like it was kind of voluntary on his part, and yeah. I feel like it was. I mean, we could take him prisoner, but it didn't seem like he had any information. So
He was being kind of a dick, and he didn't sound like he was going to give you much of anything anyway. And Elmo wasn't fight. He was like, yeah, this guy's evil. We can kill him.
He stabbed himself 67 times from multiple directions.
Yep.
That sounds like the version I remember.
He Burn arrives as well a few moments into the story, and they both sit there listening intently to you. And Burn speaks, and he praises you for your heroics, and he says that's unfortunate that happened, and it's very unfortunate that even was down there. Especially someone who's self-identifying as a worshiper of the Temple of Elemental Evil. He says, but thank you for your heroics and clearing out the evil that was growing within that place. And then Rufus has his arms folded and he shakes his head. He says, I'm glad that you all are okay, but this news is very ominous and troubling. You must understand the fact that the place has been dormant for so long, and now suddenly there's a cleric claiming himself, a powerful cleric with magic items, claiming to be a servant of the temple. The forces of the temple are clearly beginning to rally, and there's no telling how deeply ingrained they already are. If there's this guy here and their numbers are that many, who knows who else is a servant of the temple. He says, or Burn then says, he goes, yes. I think it's very, very pertinent that you keep this information about the temple's possible resurgence between us and the council members. He says, we don't want this information to spread any further because if there are hidden agents, then they will find out we're onto them, and who knows what they'll do with that information. So don't tell anyone else other than the council members about your findings. Pause for dramatic effect. And then
Dramatic sound
Says,
effects.
one of the agents of evil could be in this very room who was hoping it would turn out the way they said it would.
yeah,
That's
he
my
points to the dwarf and says, who is that?
And Doe introduces herself.
He goes, Paladin, great. I'm sure that is a great party member that you guys have vetted, and I'm sure they are very capable of serving our cause. He says, well, in any case, your efforts must be rewarded, and of course, victory is its own reward, and it's not like I really promised you any money or anything like that. I hope you said that he had powerful magic items and a necklace. You are more than welcome to...
Keep going, Nick.
You're more than welcome to do what you will with those things and keep them for yourselves as well-earned gains from this endeavor, this risky endeavor. Just make sure none of it's like cursed or going to screw you over or whatever. And whatever treasure you get, that is yours as your reward. He says, but I do recall that some of you seemed very interested in the history and the details of the temple. Is that still true?
Yes.
Yes!
He says, well then, I suppose you have proven yourselves to be as loyal as you possibly can, so allow me to divulge my full information that I have about the temple, if you have time for a story.
Yes.
And we'll cut the session there. No, fuck that. Exposition time. Feel free to write anything down. I'll repeat things if you need me to, and it'll all be recorded.
They have to talk to the council, right? So they didn't give us any direct actionable information yet.
What do you mean?
Just earlier when you were saying that, did I miss anything?
In this moment, no. He is about to info dump on you everything he knows about the temple.
Okay, so we have not gotten any direction on what to do next or anything yet.
Nope, that is what I'm about to do. That's why I told you to be prepared and take notes.
Okay, I am paying attention.
So, the story of the temple, some of this you might know, some of it might be new information to you. But for many years, about a decade ago, a cult of chaotic evil pervaded these lands. The cult was based on the premise that the elemental forces of the universe are chaotic and opposed to mankind, and thus are, from a human-centric viewpoint, evil. The temple of the cult sought to destroy all works of good and to disrupt order. Its members were thieves, assassins, brigands, and the like. Fire was regarded as the first elemental evil, and its penchant for chaos fitted the premise of the cult. Water was likewise worshipped as an even more powerful force of chaotic evil, in the form of floods, storms, and raging seas beating upon the land and ocean vessels. The epitome of chaotic evil, however, was regarded as a combination of air and earth, represented by blackness and corresponding with the demonic abyss. This combination was regarded as a complete negation of matter. The cult grew powerful and rich, attracting followers of the worst sort and offering them safety within the walls of the temple stronghold. From this fortress would the followers ride to rob, pillage, and lay waste to the lands about, tithing the cult from the spoils of the carnage. Captives from those raids were brought back to the temple to serve as human sacrifices, children to the fire, men to the water, and women to the blackest evil, or to slave away their lives in captivity. Besides the extensive upper works of the temple, a deep labyrinth below the place was constructed, but virtually nothing is known about these dungeons except that they were inhabited by a plethora of creatures serving chaos and evil. It is even rumored that a demon took up abode at the deepest level to better receive its sacrifices. Eventually, the neighbors of the temple grew tired of these depredations. All good, both lawful and chaotic, banded together to form a mighty host. Their army marched to the temple, fighting 2 battles along the way. The first was conclusive, thought the forces of good who held the field afterward, so they gained the reputation of victory, and their ranks were bolstered with local men. The second battle saw a great slaughter of goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, evil men, and the like. The temple was thereafter besieged, fell, and its inhabitants put to the sword. The upper works of the temple were thrown down and destroyed in this final siege of the war against its hordes. Because of its great power and evil, however, the conquerors did not actually raze the temple proper, instead sealing its great doors and placing mighty wards of all sort upon the place and the dark labyrinth beneath. Even as great a force as overthrew the temple could not cleanly deal with what lurked below. While the temple of elemental evil flourished, earthquakes, storms of all sorts, great fires, and flash floods struck nearby areas with seeming capriciousness. All that ceased when the temple was assaulted and sealed. Since that great battle, the temple area has been shunned, its ruins deserted. Just about a 2 days' journey afoot east along the high road lies the disreputable community of Nulb, and the temple ruins lie somewhere in the hills nearby, though its exact location has been lost over time. That vile place spawned much suffering, ruin, and death before the hosts of good brought it low and bound its power. It is evident that the place was wounded but not slain, for dark things crept into Hamlet under direction of someone or something still lurking in the shunned edifice of evil. He's talking about the cleric guy. That the moat house is basically like within Hamlet's range, so he's the evil that crept into Hamlet. So he's like, oh yeah, evil crept into here somehow beneath our noses. After the war, the village of Nulb has since returned to a semblance of normal activity, questionable at best, for the place has always been rumored to house thieves, brigands, smugglers, and pirates. But as Nulb stinks of garbage and filth, the temple area reeks of the foul corruption and pervading evil from whence it was spawned. No wonder that both places have again been left to their own devices. Should you have a desire to plunder that lost temple for its hidden treasures, I urge you to seek your fortune elsewhere. However, if you truly believe you have what it takes to delve into that place and slay whatever evils lie within, then I will support you to the best of my ability. It is in the best interest of all good folk that place not ever be given the chance to regain its original power. So, if you are willing to go to that place, and you can tell when my script stopped. If you're willing to undertake this very daunting task of trying to locate the temple and going to it, then you are braver than I, but I unfortunately must stay here to protect Hamlet from whatever may be coming.
Is there any good farmland for purchase nearby?
He says, "Funny you should ask. There's actually an abandoned farmstead, that one that you cleared out, actually. After you were able to destroy the, I'm assuming you're making a joke, but he's telling you this anyway. He says, after you cleared out the infestation there, that place was abandoned by its previous owners, so it's actually just recently going up for auction. So actually, there is a nearby farmhouse if you're interested in purchase."
Yo, guys, let's set up a base of operations.
Do you find it funny how we nearly died, like, badly, clearing that place out with just a handful of rats and stuff?
Yes.
We were level
Look how far you've
1 though, so
Just
Oh, and
saying.
all that bad stuff is gone. That was like a big rat's nest from the previous inhabitants who didn't who weren't caring for it. That's all cleared. They've had peasants and stuff out there working the field because now it's fallen to the city's possession. The city owns it, so now they're like, okay, what are we going to do with it? So they paid a bunch of people to go clear the land, and now they're trying to sell it. But he says that as the heroes of Hamlet, which unfortunately your presence, your honor cannot be spread throughout the town because it must be kept secret. But the council will recognize your victory, and I'm sure they'd be willing to sell you the farmhouse at a very reasonable cost rather than having it go to auction.
guys, we
The-
could buy the farmhouse and then we could ask the goblins if they wanted to live there.
Oh fuck!
And they
Yes!
can use the farmland to grow food and sustain themselves, and they would just be asked to basically hold down the fort and keep it in good condition for whenever
Yes!
we return.
And they would have a place to live. It would be
Oh,
nice.
it would
And
be
they could
so
their
nice.
payment is they could live there for free and use the land to grow food to sustain themselves.
They're serfs.
Yeah.
See how the surf, see how they... I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm glad
Um,
the goblins came with us. Because otherwise we'd have to pay people.
But yeah, so Byrne says, I mean, other than that, I would not wish travel to that place on anyone. Hold on. Sorry, I think Patrick's playing a game and he needs to listen. No, he was talking to someone else. He says, I would not impose that on anyone. If you do find the temple, of course, I'm always here for you if you need to seek advice or anything like that, and I'm more than willing to, if you need to copy any spells or anything like that from my spell book. Of course, I'll still have to charge you components and things like that, but anything I can do to help you, I'm more than willing to do. But your quest is no more quest. Quest gone, completed. You're on your own now. Nulb is your next waypoint.
No more
Go to Nulb, and I'm sure there's people there who are servants of the temple. I will reassure you, although I cannot, in good faith, give any information, but there are certainly agents of good at work in that place too. It's not all evil. But if you do go there, be very careful because it is a hive of villainy. Regular villainy and temple villainy.
Do you have any magical inks for sale?
He says, you asked me that last time, and it's going to be a couple of weeks. But not a couple of weeks, couple of days. It would be about a week. So when your guys' downtime is finished, he says, oh yeah, I'm getting those. The shipment should be coming in about 5 days. So once we wrap up, I will just charge you for them now and have you write down the inks, because I don't remember what we discussed last time, but I'm pretty sure it was purchase price. So however many inks you want, he'll be able to sell to you during the downtime, or after the downtime, technically. But we
Great.
can do it now so we don't forget. Not right now, but yeah.
Okay. So our information is that we're going to Nulb next. So I think that we're going to do our training, do our downtime, that Zach is going to take one of the horses to Verbomonk and try to sell the necklace, and Pantok is going to look into buying magic ink after the downtime, and then using some of those to see if he can scribe any spells from this guy's book before he heads out.
Yep, sounds good. So,
So
other than downtime, is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. I just want to make sure.
I think that's it. We have technically, says next Wednesday is when we're playing D&D. I mean EverQueen. So we actually have one more Tuesday. So we could use that Tuesday to auction off the necklace, level up our characters to 4. We can spend the next week thinking about what spells we want, and then scribe any new spells for Pantok and Toddy that they want to do before we leave, and then begin to head off to Nulb, and then we could pause there and keep all our character sheets, and then when we pick it back up, then we would know that we're just starting in Nulb.
I don't think that's a good idea because there's stuff on the way to Nulb and all that, and that would probably be probably going to be at least a couple of sessions to actually like do that. It's a pretty far away. So better to start in Hamlet where you are and then go there. Downtime completion would include leveling up, but that also includes the travel to the town. There might be random encounters there too. So maybe we wanna let's say make notes of everything we're gonna do, and when we pick back up, whenever we do, you guys have this extremely valuable necklace, and you have a next destination of Nulb. And
okay, so you want to end the session here, and then
I think so.
When we pick it back up, because we're probably going to switch to my campaign immediately after EverQuest, but then we probably don't want to go too long, and then we'll want to come back and do some of yours, and then we'll probably go to like switching back and forth maybe, or we'll see how it goes. So you think this is a better place to stop?
This is a good place to stop and call it even, and then when we go pick back up, everything is in order. You just completed a quest, you just leveled up, and then you've got a couple of options for what to do. The treasure selling thing, that's basically part of downtime.
Pantok's 2 gold chains are sold, right?
Oh, you didn't sell them. Their face value is 50 gold each. So, fuck. You know what? No, I gave you. So, yes, they're sold. Mark them off. I rounded up the item prices and the items when I was giving you the values that I rolled. So let's just call that the 2 necklaces that I kept forgetting about, rather than going back and trying to redo experience and gold.
Okay.
Or you can give yourself an extra 100 gold and not experience. How about that?
Okay. I only added the 317 XP.
That is not changing. I already gave. So I already rounded up.
I mean, I haven't added the gold. Did Zach is he holding all the gold for now?
No,
or
no one added the gold. I don't think.
Okay. So,
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Question.
So are we all going to add the 317 gold now?
Oh, and are you paying Elmo his 500 gold fee? So it's actually 317 minus whatever that is. Hold on. This is why I have the chart. Total gold was 1584 after Elmo's split. So it's 1084 is how much actual gold you have. That's why I was waiting, because it was going to be a different number. So 1084 is how much gold you have. Do you want to split it between all of the characters or between the main characters? How do you want to split that up just for bookkeeping?
I want Pantok and Justine. Well, yeah, so Zach, are you tracking money for Noe? Do you want to just split it up 5 ways?
I'm tracking money for Noe, but I had thought that we had primarily been letting you basically hold on to the money and then split it up when we need it. But I mean, we could do whatever.
I mean, whoever has it. Justina has 430 gold. Pantok has 194 plus 36 platinum. So I don't care. We could split it up, or you could dump it all on someone. What do you want to do?
I don't care.
I think the previous thing was just Pantalk carries it all, and so we can just keep going with that since
Okay.
no one else wants to.
So how much total?
1,084.
My God.
Okay, so Pantalk has 1278 gold.
All right, cool, perfect.
Probably
I'm glad
partially
you.
'cause I'm getting tired and I can't think.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to. I'm trying to not trying to wrap
much-
it up, but
Nah,
I'm making.
How much
sure.
is 36 platinum? Is that 360 gold?
Yes, but please keep track of it as platinum.
I am.
But yes, it is.
I was just wondering.
Yeah,
Cool.
360 gold and experience that I already calculated. Yeah, so the chains, I just totally kept forgetting about them. They're like a little footnote. I will reassure you though, the amount of gold you would have gotten if I didn't round up is the difference is more than 100. So I definitely generously gave you more than that already.
Yay.
So you didn't lose anything for that. That just ended up evening out. So I
Cool.
forgot about one thing, and I give you bonuses for other ones. So
Well then, so for next Tuesday, we could do nothing, or do you guys want to just do character creation for my campaign? So we'll have them sitting there and ready to go, so we can
That's a good
start
idea.
playing. Or would you rather wait and make your characters when we're gonna play after
I'd
everyone?
I would-
rather wait so it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah, so it's fresh in my mind, and I have more than a week to think about it.
Okay,
Well-
well then, if that's the case, sorry Jake, you can talk, but
No.
that if we decide not to D&D, then we could use Tuesday to just log on our characters and
Yep.
trade the chrono and just
Oh no.
dick around and get ready, make sure everyone knows how to do their spells. Maybe we do like 1 or 2 pulls just so everyone can remember how to play their class or something.
yeah, that is actually what I was thinking. Is Tuesday we really need to spend more on EverQuest stuff because it's literally the day before. If we did do D&D, we could do just stat rolling, because it's hard to make a character without stats, and so you don't have to make a character after you roll the stats. But being able to roll the stats and then use those to decide later. Otherwise, we're gonna wait until it's a week before we're gonna play the game, and no one's gonna have anything done on their characters, and we're gonna have to roll stats then.
No, that makes sense.
So if we just roll stats, give numbers, no one has to make their characters. You can make your characters so it's fresh in your mind later. But I think it's a good idea to get the stats out of the way. Last time when we did them, we did a whole thing about building characters. But we don't have to do that, I don't think. Unless you wanted to. Is that how you want to do it?
I say let's just wait on all of it because I think that I'm being pretty generous with rolling the stats. And
Yeah.
and so you guys can think of what characters, and we can actually do stat rolling really fast because it's
Yeah.
not going to be a whole bunch of dicking around. It's basically going to be each person rolls 6 numbers, and then you guys can shuffle them around, and most of the session is just going to be everyone creating their base character sheets, and you already know what race and class you're going to play and background, and then we just fill it in. Now, I'm not sure how the backgrounds will work because they give you items, but in the book it says instead of giving everyone starting gear and the gold and stuff, you each get a pack instead, but the packs don't include weapons. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go. So let me research a little bit more and I'll figure that out. But basically, you're going to start with really limited items, but some of the backgrounds are giving items. So that means something like, but I don't know, maybe the items that they give you as a class are not significant. I don't know. I need to go look at backgrounds and see if that even affects anything. Because
Usually,
Barbit cares not for stuff.
if it gives you like a whole adventurers pack or a dungeoneers pack or something, that's going to be a problem. But if it just gives you like a small knife and gold, then it's not an issue.
class stuff gives you your weapon, your armor, and usually a pack and a focus. So it's like your equipment. Background stuff usually gives you extra gear
So
and
the
extra
class
packs.
gives packs. Okay.
Class
so
does give packs. So I'm not gonna try and even guess about how that works. You just are gonna have to research it and then let us know.
Maybe
Totally fine with
do,
whatever. I know we'll start with weapons. That's all I care about.
Maybe we'll do. Well, that's why I kind of want to know what classes you are, because then I can look specifically. But
Yeah.
probably what we do is you would get the weapons or shields or armor that your class start with, but then instead of whatever pack choice you get, you choose from the packs that I offer. And so if you're a cleric or a paladin, you have to do the the equivalent of a priest pack. If
Yeah.
you're a rogue, you have to do the pack that has thieves tools.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm sure it's gonna account for everything, so we all have our required equipment.
Hello, Jake.
Oh, I'm sorry, my microphone. I
You
pressed the
cut out
button.
for a second.
Cut off like
It-
mid.
it was when- I think it was when my game closed. My microphone decided to unqueue.
Oh,
Because we're not starting at a high level, it's not that important. Like if I was making a super custom high level character with all these equipment requirements, but we're just literally level 1 basic characters, so whatever you tell us we have is what we have, and none of that's going to affect our choices. It's not like, oh wait, I only want to make a wizard if I can start with a +1 spell focus. Like that's not a thing. So especially as far as stats go, I'm confident with that stat rolling system that I don't have to fudge a whole bunch of stuff together to make a decent character, because it's not like when I was doing mine, it was like you might not want to make the same class once you roll your stats. With yours, I think we can pretty much just pick a class and whatever our stats are, that'll be fine. So yeah, I'm fine with waiting. I'm fine with waiting until the day we want to build the characters. Until then, I'm gonna pre-build the character and just assume I'm gonna get the stats I want.
Yeah, because it's gonna. I mean, it's pretty generous on stats. I want everyone to have one really good stat, and like for you, you kind of need two, so it might be primary and secondary. Yes.
Sam came in. Bro said she's bored.
Okay, we're done. We're done. But
Yeah, we're
hey,
done.
hey, okay. So Willow, you're like 70% on sorcerer.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at sorcerer and keep that in mind. Jake is pretty set on rogue. Zach, do you have any idea on what class that you would like to play?
That's it.
Oh, Zach's asleep.
I'm leaving.
He was just
All
talking.
right, have a good night. Thanks for playing.
But he literally just talked. I don't think he's asleep. I think he just had to like log off or something. Okay.
Probably.
All right. Well, I'm ending this stream. We'll talk in chat about other stuff. Try to convince Zach whatever class you want to play. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
I don't care what you guys all play. But
I
you
gotta have to get a drink so I can take my pills.
We were confused because sometimes you nod off at the end of the game, but you literally were just talking.
It's like,
and
what the
acting.
fuck?
But,
Yes, no, I got up to get a drink, and I'm at the fridge, and I have stuff in my hands, digging for water, and I hear, Zach, are you set on a class yet? Oh, fuck you
You
guys.
heard that then at least.
Okay, wait, before we go, I just have to say I sent these memes to the group. This is a trend on Facebook. Every single group is doing this. They post some stupid meme and it says, warning, do not press the like button, spam click like for 30 seconds. Have you seen those?
No.
If you spam like, unlike, and do it for 30 seconds, you get a 1 hour restriction on Facebook. And so all these groups are doing it, and they make like a funny meme, like, what happened to him? Oh, he spammed click like for 30 seconds. And so many people do it and then post a screenshot of themselves being restricted in the comments. And they're like, oh, fuck you. And then the group creator is like, I literally told you not to do it. But it's like in everywhere. It's like Final Fantasy posting, Family Guy posting, Animal posting.
It's got to be like brand new, because when you posted those memes, I had just encountered my first two groups that had memes like that in it, like seconds before.
Yeah, I saw the first one today, and I've seen it in like 5 different groups so far.
Next time someone reacts to one of my posts, but I'm having an argument with them and I don't like them, I'm gonna be like, please don't react to my posts. It gives me a notification every time you like and unlike it. And then hope that they maliciously decide to spam it.
Don't like and unlike my post for 30 seconds because that
Say
will be
because-
very annoying to me.
Because you're at work in a meeting and it dings and pops up.
You just gotta hope they're
That'll
good enough to do it
encourage
for
them.
30 seconds.
Okay, so
'Cause
Zach,
that's a long time.
Zach, what class do you think?
I don't know, but I'm actually kind of leaning towards Barbarian just because I've never played it.
Oh, we've never had a barbarian. That would be so exciting.
You have played a
Oh,
fighter,
it'd be
but yeah,
Barbic.
barbarians are fucking nuts.
Rah, rage! I don't understand my scores. What
That-
spells do I have?
That would be fun. Yeah, you've got your D12, you've got your rage. Yeah, yeah, that would be really awesome.
Barbic smash.
I'm encouraging that. Plus, it's a strength character, and that's really all that you need.
And I don't have to be the person who does the charisma stuff because the rolling is fine, but the role playing is not.
Oh, the
Yup.
sorcerer! Willow would be the
Yup.
face because Willow's got the charisma. Ah, should have picked a wizard. Okay, now I'm ending the stream because I think Willow is already logging up to go play Dumb with Sam. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to say the name of the game.
One quick question about
Yes.
character creation plans.
Yes.
If I can remember what it was. When we're doing stats, are you doing generous assignment or are you doing the assignment like I was doing?
What do you mean?
Which is you roll the stat and then assign it, and then roll a stat and then assign it.
No.
Or are you doing roll all the stats and then assign
No,
them?
you're just you're rolling the array, and then you can assign it to whatever you want.
Cool.
So your characters are going to be pretty buffed. So it's not like look at your stats and then decide what you're going to do with them. It's pick your character, maximize it, and hope that you're a beast. And it's basically going to be like superhero mode. And I'm not planning on weakening anything for you. It's built for 4 to 6 characters, so some encounters might be tough, and there are definitely going to be encounters that you could approach before you're high enough level to do it.
Oh yeah.
And so I might encourage you to run in that situation, or there could be, depending on the encounter, there could be other things that could come up. Like let's say you roll a random goblin, but there's a whole bunch of them, and you're losing. Well, maybe there's another band of an encounter that is whatever the hell antagonizes goblins, and
Yeah.
they suddenly swarm in and attack, and you guys have the opportunity to flee, and you get the XP for whatever goblins you killed first or something like that. So
Yeah.
there's enough, but it's not like, oh, we're just going to flee and run back to the city. You're in the dungeon, so you still need to decide where you go, and
Yeah.
now you're worried about going back that same way. And it's a lot of dungeoning. It's kind of like you just, there's just more dungeon. So it's not like, I'm not saying there's not any safe places, but it's not going to be like, oh, let's run back to the town where it's safe. It's more
Yeah.
of like, okay, we don't want to go down that path yet. We'll remember that we need to be stronger before we go this direction, sort of thing.
And that's usually how it is when you have like a dungeon that's far away from a city, or if you're not even near a city, because there's not a safe place to go. If it takes you a week to get to the dungeon, you're not just like, okay, let's travel back to town, heal up, and then come back. That's a fortnight that you're wasting.
Fortnite.
That was not intentional. But no, that makes sense. That sounds like when I did. It was very short lived, but when I did the Chult, the jungle campaign, I wanted you
Yeah.
guys to be as buff as possible. Everyone had a 20 in their stat. This one that we're doing was specifically meant to be Gygax era, which is
Yeah.
roll your stat, build your character. So I like yours better. This one was an intentionally bad for thematic reasons. So I was just making sure that was the plan.
Yeah, well, if you guys were like, if someone was planning on playing 2 characters and I didn't have to be as generous, but since you're like, oh, let's just do each person as 1 character, I thought, well, I'll just make sure you're set on stats and your class so you can just focus on being strong, and then you'll have a better chance of surviving. I mean, if someone dies, then we'll just bring in another character that you meet in the dungeon or whatever. But yeah, I thought that it would be, so it's going to be hard, but you guys are not going to have to worry about weak stats. My other thing I was going to do is just give you a standard array that was slightly buffed up. But I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
no, it's fun to roll because then you
And
have
everyone's a
a
little
chance
different.
and also you have a chance at being superpowered. That's what everyone
Yeah.
wants. And that's why I did the thing where you can replace your 2 lowest rolls, because just in case, so are most likely going to get something stronger than balanced. You might get a superpower, and if you are so unlucky that you get really weak rolls, then I give you strength in exchange for a weakness. So that way, all
Yeah.
your characters are strong, but there's still some randomness, and you still get surprised.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
that. I think that sounds great, and I probably will make a cleric, not cleric. Sorry, fuck clerics. I'll probably make a druid heal bot and just submit it to you and say, here's this character if you want me to use it. But I won't ask to use it. But I'm okay with making a heal bot character supplementary.
I mean, another option is that there's pre-made characters in the book. So if you want
Yeah.
me, okay.
Pre-made character, yeah.
But they're
If I'm playing pre-made characters are exactly that, pre-made. They're for like you go to a game store and you're running the game for random people and you don't have time to make characters.
You want to min-max? I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to end now because I think my laundry is done. And I was really just killing time for that. So okay,
Okay.
I will talk to you guys online and we'll play EverQuest next week. Yay.
Yep. Have a good night. I'll talk